All right, Brian Johnson, good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming on the show.
Brother, it's about time.
Yes,
I've been wanting to be on this for a long time.
I appreciate that very much. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for the guests?
Hey, my name is Brian Johnson from Brian Johnson Kickboxing and the Northwest Fight Challenge promotion, and I'm a humble man being here on your show. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Love it.
I know I've been seeing you for a very long time. I don't think I ever fought on one of your shows. But it's been a long time since I fought on anything. But I love coming down to your venue, man, down in Centralia when you guys have that.
Thank you.
It's such a big complex, even though it's kind of out of the way, man. And I really like the back room, to be honest, for our fighters.
Oh yeah,
it's so spread out.
I love that area. I found this during COVID when everything was shut down. I was at Clover Park College, been there for years, and I love that location, but they priced me out of, it was just bananas with the kind of money that they wanted for that place. So looking around during COVID, and I found the Northwest Sports Hub. When I walked in there during COVID time, I walked in there, do I need this mask? They're like, fuck no. And I'm like, perfect, my man.
Yeah.
And then we started talking, and I put on my first event there in, I think, 2020, and we've been there ever since. And when I walked into that place, it is just, it's like 140,000 square foot, sports arena.
Yeah.
And the back area compared to other promotions to where you get what you get.
Right.
When you're in casinos, there's some big casinos that have really large areas for warming up, and then I've been in some smaller casinos and other locations that you have just tiny little areas.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the fighters and the coaches that are trying to warm their guys up and get ready when you're in that compact area.
Right.
At our event, you've got 70,000 square foot back there that we drape off, and reds over here, blues over here, and we make it happen to where everybody has their space.
Yeah. Well, everyone can take up a big chunk of space.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, as you were saying that, I was kind of thinking there's no venue I've truly been to that is like set up ideally for fighters. They're like, even like UFC events, because they're so, they pick locations and things like that. Never seen like a dedicated place, because everyone's got carpet in the back, or like like the soccer center, like it's the like it's rough for cleats. So how are you going to warm up barefoot back there?
Absolutely, I've been there many times.
Oh, I know you have. You've been to pretty much every single show, or if not, like you're at the shows all the time.
Yeah, it's been a process. It's been about 25 years of going to fight cards, being around that, and I've been putting on the Northwest Fight Challenge for about 24 years now.
Wow, I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah,
that's
first
awesome.
one was in my gym, and so that was number one, and packed that place out.
Yeah.
Scared shitless, didn't know what I was doing, and I had way back in the day. Years and years and years, I trained with Dennis Holman.
Yeah.
And he was the local fight promoter that was putting fight cards on and doing bar shows and his shows. And I just went up to him and said, hey, I'm interested in possibly doing this. I go to all the shows and I see how, people are doing theirs, and I have a vision, and I want to start it. And I jumped in on his sanctioning body and did my first card in my gym, and packed the place out. And I just got hooked to where I'm like, this is what I want to do as my side thing that I do other than my gym, is promote fight cards and I want it to be a mixture of MMA and kickboxing. And when I say kickboxing, I'm talking kickboxing, K1, kickboxing, Muay Thai, all together. I just lump that all together for when I call gyms and talk to coaches. I'm like, do you have any kickboxers? Whether it's kickboxing, K1, Glory, or Muay Thai, give me their names. And and I try to do a split of like 70-30, 70% MMA, 30% kickboxing, Muay Thai, and or K1 rule stuff, and then we just go from there and make it happen. And I try to get the highest of the highest end guys for the upper echelon of the fights, and then the up and comers for the beginning parts of the fight card, and just blend it all together to have an awesome show.
Yeah, you do. And I love how you differentiate the two. It's not necessarily that you're going to want to be like, we got MMA, and then we've got Muay Thai, and then we got K1, and it's like, it's too many to list.
Yeah.
So lumping in like the all-inclusive strikers, and then the MMA, like separating the two, that's a perfect way to do it, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You can, and like you said, you can pull from the Pacific Northwest is such a mixture of MMA, kickboxing. You're going to be able to pull from all all the whole area, especially doing it for such a long time. Man, yeah, you have I know you have your fight cards stacked out and matched up right off the bat. As soon as you're finished, we're putting in fighters right away. Because I watched Crew Jones work with you like side by side.
Absolutely.
And I love that, man.
Thank you.
Yep. So what do you want to say about the card coming up?
Well, we got it coming up. Here's a flyer.
Ooh.
That we have that I brought one in here.
Awesome.
I ran out of posters. They're all mailed out to all the coaches and fighters and sponsors.
I actually have one there, and I have the fight card here. So I snagged that one from the gym. I was like,
I love it.
Anybody's? Crew Jones was like, I don't think so.
I love it. Yeah, October 11th will be the next fight card, the Northwest Fight Challenge. And we have 15 stacked fights from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Lots of girl fights. I got some scrappy girls that are going to be on this card. Felicia Bell from Bad Company. Mm-hmm. And then we also have Drew. He's got a girl on the card, Marie. She's tough as nails. I've met her a few times, and anybody that comes out of Ludasport, they're tough. Yep. I mean, Drew is legit as they come. Brandon Altamari over there is one of his coaches, and those guys are top-notch class people. And I'm assuming that's going to be like one of the fights of the night. Those two ladies going after it. They're both 0-0. They've never fought before, but they're coming from good camps. Yes. Jacob with Bad Company, and then Drew with Ludasport. They're gonna bring the heat early in the night, and then the card is stacked from that point on. We have 4 title fights. And,
wow, that's awesome.
It's going to be a dialed-in night of fights.
Yeah, who's your title fights? I know a couple of them.
Well, let's just see.
I'm going to let you run through that part.
All right. First title fight, we're going to have, she is tough as nails. You know her. Erin McCaney. Mm-hmm. She's with the Spice Factory now. Mm-hmm. She's fighting the champ, Julie Jacobo from Glacier Combat Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Combat Art, excuse me. They're doing a title K1 kickboxing 5 3-minute rounds. Wow. Erin is old school. I've seen her go to war with Liz Tunani multiple times, as tough as they come. And Julie is a little power pack that hits like a little freight train. Hits like a man, and it's going to be a great fight because they're both dialed in, and I can't wait to see what happens in that fight. It's going to be a great title fight.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah, that one's going to be a great one.
That's the start off of the title fights, and I've got MMA title fight, 5 3-minute rounds. Caius Mano from Glacier Combat Arts with Ken Dunbar versus Gio Rosales from West Coast Fight Team with Talon Hammonds.
Oh yeah.
They fought like 3 years ago on my card. Gio got the best of him in that one. Caius is on a win streak right now. I think he's the FCFF champion right now at 170. And Caius called him out in a respectful way. And Gio accepted. And those two guys are going to fight for the 170-pound MMA belt. And that's going to be, don't blink. That one's going to be dialed in.
Yes.
And this is Caius 2.0 version, and Gio's getting better and better. That's going to be a war.
Cool, man. Well, I'm excited for all of your fights. How many fights did you say you had? 15?
15 fights. Yeah, 15 fights. And then heavyweight title fight, Jared Goldwire. He's from Wave Combat. He's a former NFL football player, athletic as they come, going against Isaac Liu from West Coast Fight Team. He is the champion, young, tough, huge, big heavyweight that's got monster power in his hands. On my last fight card, he won the belt, straight overhand right, blasted the guy.
I remember.
Put him down, and it was unfortunate what happened. The guy, on his way down from getting possibly TKO'd, he twisted his ankle and broke his ankle, and then Chase had to have surgery after that, and he's still in a boot right now, getting better, and so hopefully he'll be back. He wants a rematch with Isaac badly. He doesn't agree with what happened, but he got planted hard in the face, went down, and then twisted his ankle, and that's what happened in that fight. Isaac is a champ. And then the main event is going to be title fight MMA 5-3s. Austin Taj Hurst from Jay's Tactics. He's a military special forces young man. Oh, wow. And just as tough as they come. It's at 205 versus Blake Moser, collegiate level wrestler from Gig Harbor MMA with Chris Stone. Those two guys are going to go at it. Blake has been around the game for a long time, probably possibly going to go pro here real soon. And Austin is the up-and-comer right now that I don't know a lot about him, but his coach tells me that he is the real deal, and he is the man, and we're going to find out who's the better man at 205 for the title fight comes October 11th.
I love that. Love that. Well, 4 title fights, it sounds like they're all going to be bangers. So if anybody watching, if you have somebody that you're going to show up for the fight early for and you're planning on taking off, maybe stick around and watch the title fights. You might see something big, might get deeper into the sport. That may be where the fighter that you're supporting goes, and you may see this person defend their title against your fighter. So it's always good to stick around for the entirety of the card.
You know, I totally agree with that. And a lot of times at the fights, that's what I do too. When I'm there as a promoter and or as a coach looking to have fighters on my next fight card or on other promotions fight cards that they might call for that guy to fight my guy.
Yeah.
I watch the fights and analyze whether or not, is this guy a good striker? Is he a good ground guy? How's his wrestling? Is he offense? Is he defense? And then just besides being just a pure fight fan, just to watch the excitement of the fights, stick around and watch all the fights, because you never know whether or not you're going to be fighting that guy next on an upcoming fight card, whether or not it's on my card, the Northwest Fight Challenge, and or anybody else's fight card. Watch those guys and take notes.
Yeah, definitely. So let's say the very first fight I ever went to live was your show at the Apex Go-Kart Center.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember all of the fights, but I know Ollie fought that night for a title. I know Kevin White fought that night. I can't remember if Eric Larson did, but you had a great card. And as soon as this was the class, so I joined the Marcelo MABJJ Fife in 2011, the fall. But I was with Crew Jones for about 6 months before in the spring. And so he's breeding me from day one as a fighter. It's like, nope, you're a fighter. This is what the fighters do. We train like this, blah, blah, blah. There's no hobbyists. There's no social time. Check us out kind of thing.
I love it.
Be a fighter. So I was all in. And one night he was like, let's go down south. It's a really good fight card. And I'll just kind of coach you through what I'm seeing, what we're seeing, because he's putting me right into the heavy fights. So
I love it.
Within about a month or so, a couple months, I fought on what was it, like Cage Wars? Charlie Combat's old. Yep. When he up in Arlington or wherever it was, and I fought Miles Coble back in the day. His 10th fight, I was his first.
Oh wow,
I was my first.
Yeah.
And we were pretty even up until the third round. He kicked the shit out of my leg. It was too stupid to check.
I've been
green there. To check. I mean, stupid, green, whatever. But yeah, so going and seeing back to your show, like I come in. Like Nick Ryan's sitting there, Eric Larson's sitting there, Kevin White's in there. I don't know any of these guys.
These are old school badass people.
And these are dudes that branched out from when the Canyon Road School apparently left, and everybody's kind of doing this kind of thing. And to see everybody like right when that happened and kind of go out and seeing them at your show, like it meant a lot to me, like back in the day.
Oh, so, fantastic. Yeah, that's funny you said that about all those guys. All those guys are OGs. Tough as nails. We had a thing going on back then, Marcelo and I, to where we had a thing to where any one of my guys from my gym can come up and train with Marcelo.
I remember, yeah.
And then all those guys can come down and train their striking, and the Ollie Tiglaus and the Nick Ryans and the Eric Larsons and all those guys, they all came down to my gym and for years, and we trained, and we had bang fests where we'd show up at noon, glove up, and just beat the shit out of each other, all of us. And it was great times. All of those guys have been champions on my fight card.
Yeah.
And all of them, every single one of those guys that you named off have been on there multiple times champions. And just bringing up those names puts a smile on my face, because those are all tough as nails, good people.
Yeah. And they all, every time I bring that up, they're all like, what, really? That's great. And it's just, that was like my day one type stuff. So I'm like, okay, those are the guys that I got to come up looking up to. And so like Ollie was training with us for a while. Nick Ryan, he still does on the JIT side and stuff. And so, and then obviously like Eric Larson, Ollie, like, you know what I mean? Still everybody's in the community. Kevin White's back training with us now.
That's awesome. Kevin's one of those guys. You wouldn't see it, but he's so tough, so scrappy. I remember one of the first times we sparred, and he clinched me up and kneed me in my face, and I'm like going, step in that fucking ring. And then we took a timeout, stepped in the ring, and we went.
Yes.
Because I'm like, let's go, dude. But he is so good, so scrappy, so wiry. He's that guy that doesn't look menacing, but he's as tough as they come.
Yeah.
And when he'd come down and train, and a lot of the guys at the gym that didn't know who he was, when he put the gear on, he'd light him up. Now you know.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to say that whole crew embodies the old Marcelo Alonso relentless.
Yes.
Never quit. Like that was the era right when I started walking in when they were doing that, and like that, I think I said that kind of personifies for everything for me.
Yeah, that's a hardcore group of badasses right there.
Yeah, I love that. And staples in the Pacific Northwest now, so don't sleep. So who do you have coming up in your gym? I know Julian's helping do a lot at the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Julian Martins and Jason Swan are my right-hand men. Those guys have been with me for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. Both of them have been multiple-time kickboxing champions. Julian went on to fight pro, undefeated, and decided to take a step back. And about 2 years ago, he's been in and out of my gym off and on as one of my coaches for years and years and years. And he said, I got an idea. What do you think about let's just do on the side? We've got the whole entire fight team thing going, but specifically let's do fight team training a couple of days a week. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, let's go for it, dude. And I let him take the reins, and I'll follow his lead. And just his passion is hardcore. Same thing with Jason Swan. His passion is hardcore. And we just have a good thing going. We have a good group of guys right now coming up. We've got one young man. He's fighting on our fight card versus another really tough guy. Kid, I should say, young man from Pete Gray's gym from Rugged. Mm-hmm. My guy's name is Jackson Perry. He's 3-0, undefeated. Mm-hmm. Total little prodigy. I mean, tough as they come, hits like a fucking freight train. But the guy that he's fighting is no joke. I mean, let me get his name. I want to make sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
That right here. And he's like super, super dialed in. I want to show him respect.
Sorry, I had you shuffle that around.
It's all good. It's all good. Let me see here where we at. His name is JQ Jalipsy from Rugged MMA versus my guy Jackson Perry. They're fighting at 135, K1 kickboxing with knees.
I think I've seen him do one of the smokers at West Coast. That Gypsy name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he fought. I watched him fight at Redemption on Travis George's fight card.
Maybe that's where it was.
And super tough young man. I'm watching him and I'm like, wow, this kid has got great technique, very, very aggressive, which I like. Mm-hmm. And my kid's very aggressive. They're going to meet in the middle. And it's going to be go time. It's going to be don't blink on that fight. It could be like seriously fight of the night with those two young men going at it. It's just going to be a great night of fights, and I can't wait to watch that fight. This is a step up for my guy Jax, and we'll see whether or not he has what it takes on that night to take on a really tough guy from Rugged.
I love that. I love those kind of fights too.
Me too.
Just get in there and just go.
I want. On my fight cards, I look for whether or not it's beginning level, mid level, or top level. I want the best fight I possibly can get to where win or lose, mm-hmm. you come out with a positive, vibe with it, that there was no super mad mismatch.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen before to where whether or not a coach knows or he doesn't know, doesn't tell the full truth.
Oh yeah.
And I try to do all the investigating and background things that I have to do to try to make it the most safe fight it possibly can for a fight.
Right.
But, I try to get the truth, and I ask all the questions. Say it's an MMA fight.
I know. Crew Jones is like, this is what Brian's asking me, right?
You know.
Full detail. And
yep.
I just want to interject. Shame on the fight teams and the fight promoters that lie, because not only are you cheating your fighter, because they could be on to bigger and better things, you're cheating the community, and you're cheating that other fighter out of something that may take them right out of the sport.
It's happened before.
You're being greedy. Be a good matchmaker. Like, I've seen the way that you matchmake with Crew Jones and all that kind of stuff, and I know that's legit. Speaking of which, we have Isaac fighting on your card.
Man, yeah. Let's talk about Isaac.
Padilla from Srisik Muay Thai Vital Jiu-Jitsu, and he's training a little bit out of Ludasport.
Yeah, yep, exactly. I look forward to that fight. He's fighting a super tough young man at a rodeo style MMA with Rob Can. His name is Daniel Grajada. Mm-hmm. He's fought his only fight on my fight card. Super, super tough, legit, well-rounded guy versus Isaac, which I've watched Isaac from the time he was a little pup.
Oh yeah.
And he's come down and trained at my gym way back in the day, and he's done some privates with Julian too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be such a great fight. And Isaac is no joke. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his, mm-hmm. and just a respectable young man, and I really look forward to watching those two guys go at it. Another one, don't blink, because there could be a quick knockout, a submission somewhere within that fight, or it could go all 3 rounds because it's so evenly matched. That's what, I wanted to, go back on that in regards to trying to make fights is even as possible, you know, and I try to do and a lot of the coaches, they're like, what, you want to know what? You know, because I'm like going, I just want to make sure if I'm fighting a guy out of your gym, Zach, I want to make sure that this guy and your guy, it's as even as it possibly can be.
Yeah,
you know, so I want to know. And especially in the beginning level, when you're entry level, if you've been training 6, 7, 8 months, you take your first fight as a promoter matchmaker. When I call you, and a lot of times they're like, fuck, he's asking all these questions. But I feel I need to. It's my responsibility to try to protect in a fight world the people that are competing the best that I can, and then when they go out there, what happens, because we're not playing baseball, we're not playing golf, we don't fucking play fight. It's you're trying to unconscious me, and I'm trying to do that to you, which I take that really, really serious. You know,
thank you for that.
Yeah, and like if I'm calling you about a fighter, and I got a green guy, say he's out of my gym, 6 months trained, green, no training and nothing, and then you got a guy. And you're like, well, he's been training 6 months in kickboxing. Okay, that sounds fair. But then I ask you the questions. Okay, well, 6 months in kickboxing. Does he have a background? And I don't take much play into karate and taekwondo and kung fu. It has its place for tradition. And I teach that stuff in my gym for the kids for focus, discipline, structure. But that's all that is. And if you want to do fight stuff, boxing, kickboxing, grappling, jiu-jitsu, MMA, judo, total different world. But it counts when it's a beginner, to where if I got a guy 6 months trained, you got a guy 6 or 7 months trained in kickboxing, but he's got 14 years of taekwondo and he's a black belt world champion in taekwondo.
Right.
That fucking matters.
That's huge because they're comfortable in competition.
Yes, and they can light their legs up all over the place or whatever it may be, or a black belt in karate, and going against a green pup versus, okay, well, you're greenish in kickboxing, but you got 15 years of karate or taekwondo. That to me is not a fair matchup, and I don't want that fight. You know,
I also think that same way at like high level wrestlers coming up, because if you've got 100 wrestling matches and they're all, and you're state champ here and you're fucking national champ or whatever, that's high level competition. You're going in there with the crowd. You're knowing that your experience of competition is going to be a lot higher, to where you're able to focus more, to where you know as well as I do. Getting those green guys in there, especially with like the nerves, that first fight, like I could get knocked out as soon as that bell rings. Like, so just dialing it back, like, thank you very much for taking the proper precautions. And I don't mind answering any of those questions.
I appreciate that.
Even if it's so. Quick side note, if we're matchmaking or even messaging, because I do a lot more messaging now, if I don't get back to you within like a day, shoot me a little nudge, be like, yo, because my messages get buried.
Oh, I bet.
I'm sure yours do too. I don't know anybody else that I've been talking to lately that doesn't. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go message this person back. And it's on three, 4 platforms. It's text, it's phone calls, you know, so. Yeah, I know you know that, especially as a matchmaker.
Oh yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the obsessive compulsive ask, check, double check, triple check, and quadruple check.
Good.
I mean, and there's times I'll do it to where if I'm working with a new coach that I haven't worked with before, and I note everything. I take my notes and I'll write down if I'm calling Bill Smith's gym, and you know, hey, do you have any fighters for me? And I'll write down, you know, 9/20/2025. I'll write down this is the day that we talked, and then do you have a fighter? Yeah, I do. His name's, you know, Joe Blow, and he's 6 months trained. Oh no, no wrestling, no this, no that, no that, no whatever. About 3 weeks later, I'll call him again. Have my notes right in front of me. I'm like, my bad, I lost my notes. Can you tell me about your guy again?
Yeah.
It better be the fucking same thing.
Yeah.
And I've had many, many, many times they're like, oh yeah, okay, well he's been training about 1.5 years. And I'm like, 6 months you said? And he's got, well, black belt in karate, you didn't put that down. Well, he did wrestle in high school, you didn't put that down. And does he have any boxing? Well, he's got 3 boxing matches back when he was 13. You didn't tell me that either.
Yeah.
You know, now then I'll bring it up. Wait a minute. Okay, when we talked on 9/20/2025, you said 6 months trained and that's it. This changes everything now.
Yeah.
Which now I have to try to match him in a different way now, because he's got all this experience compared to what you told me the first time, none. So then I just, you know, I'll check, because what I don't want is to get the first version, call you from your gym and get your guy that you're telling the truth about, and then put him against that guy, and then that guy's got all of that, and I didn't know about it. Now comes fight day, if your guy got smashed, you might come up to me and go, hey, motherfucker, you thought you said you didn't wrestle.
Right.
Here's his notes, and I take my notebook with me to the fights, and I leave it in my truck, and if I have to open that thing up, and I've had to do it before, this is what Joe Blow coach told me on this day about his guy. Go talk to him. You know, and then I'm like
That's
going,
actually
and then
pretty
I'm like,
smart.
hey, you know, and then here we go. Cause I'm like, I tell you the truth and I can only tell you what that other coach told me.
Exactly.
That's it. You know, and I'll do my damnest, or I'll ask, double ask, triple ask to get it all. But then if they stick with the same story and it's off, and it's happened before with other gyms where they don't tell the whole truth of who their guy is because they're looking for a win. This is where it gets complicated, and I get mad as a matchmaker, promoter, you know, and or a coach, because it's happened to me on other fight cards to where I've had my guys go out there, whether or not they're green or not green, and they get smashed, you know, and I'm like, yeah, this guy isn't what you said he was. And then I'll go, I've had it happen before. I'll walk up to the guy after the fight's over. I'm like, how long you been training? I was told 6 months, about 4.5 years. You have any fights? So I've got 19 boxing matches, which I didn't know about, is my guy got the living fuck beat out of his ass. The promoter, whether or not he got all the information or not from the guy, this just happened and my guy just got hurt, you know?
Right.
And
so due diligence.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny you say that. I have a recent story I was telling about the exact same thing, and the guys in the back like, oh no, I've had like 10 fights and blah blah blah. We're like, both me, and it was a good fight back and forth, a decent match, but it could have been an honest match. It didn't mean we weren't going to take it necessarily if things line up still properly. Like you said, if I got someone who's got 2 years training at our gym, never fought, never done a smoker, and he's done 2 years of capoeira or something, I'm like, I mean, I don't know exactly where that falls and the works doesn't work, but at least it's something they're in there moving. They're not uncoordinated.
Absolutely.
You know, so it starts to steamroll from other areas. Like you said, you can take somebody that's like a star wide receiver in high school, you know, star quarterback, and you can really coach them quick because they have that proper athleticism and understanding athletic base, understanding stance like that. So they're constantly like moving in certain ways. To where athletic talent can go fast. Like,
absolutely.
Okay. And to where that's not necessarily what we would ask as matchmakers, or, you know, like you're calling me, I'm like, I guess he was like you got this one kid, Nate. He's like in the Army. He's very athletic, picks things up really quick, but he's only probably 6 or 8 months trained. Still makes a lot of those green mistakes where it's like, but he has a lot of power. So, you know, you sit there and go back and forth and you start digging deeper and deeper. What I don't know about Nate is maybe he's done combatives before because he's in the military. Like maybe he, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it's important that you're asking these questions as opposed to somebody who's going to actively not give you the truth. You know that, and have to still dig deep. And that this honestly exists more in the community than it should.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do, and I do my due diligence as a matchmaker to seek the truth of all fighters, and then the day of the fights, let it play out, win, lose. Whatever happens, it's just I feel good about, you know, whether or not my guys get the short end of the stick or whoever it may be. You had a good experience, win or lose, on my card, and don't get it twisted. There's times in there to where you and I are, let's say we're fighting each other and we're even everywhere, and you go out there and bang, hit me with one shot, put me out in round one. That shit happens. It's fighting.
It's fighting. You know, it's that any given Sunday thing is football, but like, my bad day meets your good day, or vice versa. Or maybe we're both having a good day. Maybe we're both having a bad day, and it's an ugly fight, and we scrap it out. And, you know, anything can happen, and it's not like you're, all right, let's go run it back after halftime. Like, none of that shit happens. You get, you know, what, 9 minutes to 15, 25 minutes sometimes for title fights, 5-5. But it's a limited amount of time. And the only way you get to run that back is one more section, months and months later, a lot more variables. There's variables of everyday stuff. It's not like a baseball season where you're playing consistently and consistently seeing who's doing what.
Absolutely.
So, excuse me. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the fight. And on the 11th, so every time we go to your cards, our team usually shows up pretty well. They love coming to your cards. We usually, even for like Isaac, I'm sure the team's going to show out. I love that you keep your prices down because you're seeing prices go up and up and up and up.
Oh, they are.
When I first started, it was like $20, $25 to go to a card. Now it's 50 minimum. So a lot of places are 70, 80, 100.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? People are making less, you know, percentage wise than they were a long time ago. So I appreciate you keeping your prices down. Having a great venue that packs out but is not overcrowded. You have a great section for the beer garden. Huge room in the back for fighters. And it's a safe environment. It's not like you're going into a sketchy area where there's like bums around or you're not quite sure what you're going to get into. It's a family sports complex. It's a great area down in Centralia. So I'm really loving the card and the
appreciate
venue.
that. Thank you. Yeah, it's we take pride in what we do. My wife and I. My partner is Danny Johnson. I mean, I couldn't do anything without her. She's my.
She's out there running around.
She's my everything. And I would if she wanted to call it quits, I'd be done. You know, it's one of those things to where she is my partner and life partner with putting on the Northwest Fight Challenge, and she's just as much Northwest Fight Challenge as me. She's doing everything on the back end, doing everything, making sure all the sponsors and everybody are getting what they get. And you know, we try to make it to where it's just a big, huge gym family kind of, you know, vibe that we do. And I tell all the coaches and the fighters, you've been there.
Oh yeah.
You know, that you guys see right there, that when Jeff Hoiby, who's my ref, and he is the most awesome ref on planet Earth. Go Jeff, you're the man.
Shout out to Jeff.
Love Jeff. He's one of my dear friends, and he's one of the few people in this industry that I absolutely trust. And
same. He's I'm just gonna interject. Again, shout out to Jeff because he's becoming that for me. He's like, we're talking a lot, and he's giving me great, honest feedback across the board every time. Thank you, Jeff. Like, and those are the people that create that compass.
Absolutely. You can Jeff Hoiby and Cody Houston, they've been with me from the get-go, and they're good people. I trust them with everything. Mm-hmm. And when Jeff's in there reffing, you're as going to be as safe as you possibly can be.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to. You know, I mean, it's fighting, and he'll get there. Mm-hmm. You know, he will get there when the time is right, and he'll make sure that everybody is as safe as they possibly be in a fist fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And going back to at the rules, when Jeff's giving the rules meeting, I always give my 2-minute little speech to all the coaches and fighters. Mm-hmm. I feel blessed for what I do. I don't think I deserve it, but I do my best I possibly can for everybody, all the fighters and coaches. That I thank all you guys, because I can't do what I do as a promoter and a matchmaker unless I have you guys there. I don't take it for granted. I don't think I deserve this. I do it because I love doing it, and having everybody there. I tell everybody every single fight card how much I appreciate all you guys being here, that there's all sorts of options that you can be doing on any given Saturday, and you choose this one. I just have mad respect for all the coaches, all the fighters, and just thank them profusely every single fight card for coming out to this particular event, October 11th, the one coming up, and they'll get the same speech again, which I mean from the bottom of my heart how much I absolutely appreciate all of them choosing the Northwest Fight Challenge on that day, and giving me their time and their talent and their energy to put on an awesome show. And about 99.9% of the time, we blow it out of the water with the fights, because I try to get the best matchups we possibly can. Mm-hmm. The crowd loves it. They keep coming back. I have a huge, and Jeff Hoiby always saw him and him and Travis Dorge, another one of my dear friends. Yep. He puts on Redemption Fighting Good Championships. Those two guys, Jeff and Travis, are like they're my counselors, because I take this shit to heart, and I'm obsessive compulsive. And I'm that guy that I put 2 fight cards on a year. That's it. That's all my mental well-being can handle is
I understand.
2 a year. And I give everything I've got for those 2 fight cards, and I put one on about every 6 or 7 months. And those 2 guys are my 2 contact guys. And when I'm having a bad day, I'll call Travis or I'll call Jeff, and they're my little mini counselors that I probably owe thousands of dollars to in counseling for them counseling me through and get me through my panic modes. Mm-hmm. You know, and Jeff Hoiby is that guy too, that he's been there to where he's a master at helping. If I'm like, dude, I just lost this fight, put your mastermind on with me. Who can we get to fight this guy? High level guy. And then he'll be there for me and help me find the right guy for that particular moment. If something happens to, or if I lose a fight on short notice and we need somebody, he's my go-to guy. Yeah. And you know, you gotta have that kind of counselor person that I don't want to even say like in your pocket, because that's not how you keep them. They're like at your side, you know what I mean? And that's how, because everything you said there was Crew Jones to me.
So like we're back and forth almost every day, or like however often we need to talk. And it's like, oh, this is what I'm going through. This is what we're gonna work through to get by. Blah blah blah. So, man, and especially watching him put on Absolute Chaos.
I was just going to say that.
I watched him go through that exact same shit.
Yeah, Brian and I, we have that. Now so much that he's taken a step back from Absolute Chaos, because I've been to all those fight cards and supported everything that Brian has done. He knows, and him and I fuck with each other all the time.
Oh, I know.
He's got a few fuckeries up on me, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
As far as for getting me to where we play little jokes on each other, promoter to motor, matchmaker to matchmaker. And there's been a few times he's got me good, and or I'm panicking hard because he's telling me that certain people are pulling out of your guys' gym.
He told me about this.
Motherfucker. And so Jones, go fuck yourself.
I'm sure he's gonna watch this one too.
No, he's great people, and yeah, he's that same guy that we've had that to where he'll call me, I'll call him, and we vent. As promoter matchmakers on guess what just happened or whatever. And he's another one. He was another guy when Absolute Chaos was going on. He's one of the most honest people I've ever met in my life. He would never lie. He tells the truth about everything, and there's a handful of people that I could trust. He's one of them.
I love that. Thank you for saying that, because that's how I feel about him too. I call him my Muay Thai dad.
I love it.
Yeah, so
he's a bad man too. That guy is tough as nails.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, like, imagine this guy. He's so for those who don't know, he fought a guy named Justin Fowler on Cage Quest. I'm not sure which number, in Lakewood at the Clover Park. Yeah. And in the first round, he's not a wrestler, he's a striker. He got picked up, slammed, dislocated his knee, MCL, ACL, patella, torn meniscus, everything. Dislocated. It was bad. A pinched femoral artery. Had to get emergency surgery, blah, blah, blah. Changed everything. But when that guy was in fight camp, I'm his green student making greeny mistakes. And he's in fight camp fucking extra brain damage because of this,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, like so I was gonna, instead of Sway City Muay Thai, I was gonna call it North Star Muay Thai, because that's kind of him for me. He's my North Star, and always been kind of like that compass. But that name was taken from the East Coast. Okay. So I was like, I'll just name it Sway City.
Sway City works, baby.
Span away. So that's where I'm from.
It's a catchy name.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it.
About fucking time I'm on the show too. About time, Zach.
Yes, thank you. Actually, I'm loving that you're on it, man. We're having a great time.
Speaking of Brian Jones too, I was a judge on that fight card.
Ooh, okay.
And that was probably the most panicked, scared, shitless I've ever been. That when that happened to Brian, and he's a dear friend of mine, and I seen that happen, scared the shit out of me. I mean, I didn't know how damaged he was, and that was probably the worst catastrophic injury I've ever seen ever in all the years I've been going to MMA and kickboxing fights, watching that. And it just sucks, because I think after that he was going to go pro in Muay Thai and go on to probably a illustrious career of a bad motherfucker that he is. And that stopped it, and I just, it gutted me as a friend of his that's what stopped it, because he could have went on to do great things in striking. And I'm a huge fan of Brian Jones. Been watching him for years blast people into oblivion, and just as tough as they come. And I mean, he's one of my idols in striking. He's legit as they come. Yeah,
I love that, man. Yeah, and that, unfortunately, I wasn't there for that fight. I was up for a friend's bachelor party or something, and it was like one of those things where it was tragic. And I'm like, calling Bo. Remember Bo Reed?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like calling Bo. I'm like, what happened, dude? What happened? And he's not answering. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? The 4 or 5 hours of not knowing. I'm like, and then 2 in the morning he answers. He's like, oh, bro, tells me everything. So, yeah, it was a little going beyond that. Justin was out of Eddie Blackburn's garage, like training with Eddie Blackburn out of his garage. Or not out of his garage, but Eddie had a fight team.
It was out of his garage.
It was out of his garage, because we would go spar there after we'd run stadium stairs. I was exhausted and go get my ass kicked.
Eddie had some tough ass dudes out of his garage, like really, really, really legit dudes. Yeah. Doesn't matter where you're training.
Oh, no,
I mean, he had the setup really. I've been there before, and
it was plenty to do plenty.
Oh yeah. And I mean, he had a core group of people that were tough as fucking nails out of his garage, and he put on a great fight card when he was doing his amateur fight cards.
Yep. I was actually matched on Absolute Chaos after Brian hurt his knee against Justin Fowler.
Oh shit!
So I was like, I'm going to kill him. Like his kickboxing too.
How'd that play out?
So I'll tell you. So I'm like, we're matched, and I'm like, okay, like just ignited this like demon, because I'm like, the first time I'm training angry. I'm training like I want to hurt somebody, because like he hurt my dad, my Muay Thai dad.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm like, I'm gonna batter him so bad he's gonna quit, or I'm gonna kick his head off into the crowd. Something bad's happening. Fight drops out.
Oh man.
And then like he matches me with somebody from Trevor Prengley's AKA. So good school, good fight. It wasn't like a mismatch. About a couple weeks later, I go from fighting or running stadium stairs to go over to Eddie Blackburn's to spar, and Justin's there. So we spar a little bit. It's like bleeding out the nose a little bit, and I'm just tagging him up. And they're doing MMA rounds, but I'm still having my big puffies on as I'm doing kickboxing and Muay Thai. And he'd take me down. I'm like, okay, he's an MMA guy, wrestler, whatever. But just in the like round or two that we sparred, I'm like, this would have been a mismatch. Like it would have happened. Like, I would have fucking destroyed this guy. And I'm not, no disrespect to him, because he had his, like, if it would have came MMA, it would have been the other way around. He would have destroyed me. But it was kickboxing, and I was out for blood. And it was probably good that it didn't go through, because like an annihilation, a mismatch sort of thing, which is obviously what we're not looking for. And to go fight a guy that's doing kickboxing, Muay Thai over at a good school like that, it was a better fight, all that stuff. So
absolutely,
man, was I out for blood.
Oh man, too bad that didn't happen. I would have loved to.
It's one of those things where like people would have been like, would have been fine with that mismatch. Like, we're gonna let this one go.
Let's let it go.
Let's let it go.
Let that one go. Hell yeah.
So what else you want to tell me about your card?
Well, speaking of that, I've got a high-level wrestler that's a multi-time MMA champion wrestler, Cole Hollenbeck, jumping into kickboxing.
Ooh, okay.
And he's fighting one of my guys who actually did an MMA fight with his brother a couple of fight cards ago on my card, and his brother mauled him with wrestling. Okay. My guy's more of a striker-ish kind of guy, on his feet, and Cole's brother, I mean, props to him, negated that and took him down to the ground and won a 3-round decision, and just hammered him with wrestling. And Cole now has decided that, down the road, he's, I think, closely going to be going pro in MMA and wants to work on his striking, because he's a stud grappler. Okay. And he's he was my 135-pound champion, and then he's also another fight promotions champion in MMA, undefeated. I think he's like 6 or 7-0 in MMA, and very dominant on the ground with grappling. Really good grappling. His dad's a really stud grappler also, and his coach called me up and goes, I want to kickbox for this card. We're going to bring him back kickboxing. I thought Cole was done. When I talked to his coach a few fights ago, I think he's done. He's going to retire. He's not doing it no more. Well, now he wants to come back and go back into everything, but he wants to work on his striking. And I go, well, I got a guy, and my guy who your brother beat, I told his coach this, and they jumped all over it. Okay. Thinking, hey, let's see what happens. So it's going to be my striker-ish kind of guy versus the grappler that now is working his striking, that's going to be forced to strike. Let's see what happens.
That's a lot of fun too. Especially, it's like you said, in the beginning levels, like sub 5-8 fight range, or how, depending on who's doing what. Like we talked about. But yeah, man, like seeing those, like, all right, let's kind of see where this kind of wave kind of meets in the middle and see what happens. I love that, because you might get the guy that's better on the ground, just throws a solid hand and catches him. It's like, I want to with
that's what I try to tell my guy. My guy is Preston Ring, and going against Cole in this one, and like I told him, I'm like going, hey, we cannot take this guy lightly. We don't really ever see much on all of his fights I've ever watched him. He's grappler dominant, because this is where he's comfortable. Now he's going to be forced to strike, but is he that good of a striker? He might be. Right. He might have one punch knockout blot off power that he's never really used in his MMA fights, because the grappling's so dominant. The least resistance to a win, go for it. And he's been putting it on people in MMA with his grappling. So why strike when you can out grapple them and win? So, but now they decided they want to go the other way around. So I told my guy Preston, I'm like going, let's take this guy serious and, go out there and just do what you need to do as a striker to beat this guy that's coming into your world.
I love that.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Everyone's got that puncher's chance.
They do. It's one of those things where it takes one. It takes one shot.
Yeah. Split second.
And you don't even have to have mad power. No. I've been hit in practice so many times to where we're playing around and I get hit with a shot that my mouth's kind of open because we're fucking around and bang, and I'm seeing white light for a minute.
God.
Like, what the fuck just hit me? And it was a 30% shot. That just hits across the placement of the right spot and you're fucked. Mm-hmm. So
I actually tell my students all the time that I'm like, you don't have to have strong power. It's about placement, disruption, finding the target. A lot of times, not necessarily about just swinging away.
Normally that's when you get guys that they're just banging, looking for that knockout. It never happens.
No, and they gas out big because of it.
Bigger than shit. And you find that with the greenhorn guys more like I tell all my fighters. It's funny, but not funny. I had a guy that just did a fight card here a little while ago, kickboxing, classy kickboxing, 3 1.5 minute rounds, and he's like, I'm gonna kill it. And he's got cardio for days in the gym. He is a cardio king in the gym. No pressure. Right. Now anxiety, uncomfortable, pressure, the crowd. He goes out there and round 1 goes balls to the wall. So does the other guy. Sits down at the end of round 1, has nothing. Just absolutely so gassed out of his mind. And before this, he was joking about after he's done with this fight, whooping this guy's ass, he's going to go for a 10-mile run. And I'm like, Junior, I'm telling you right now, at your first fight, more likely than not, win or lose, at the end of round 1, when you sit down, you're going to be so fucking tired. It'll be unbelievable how tired you are. Yes. Round 1, trust me on this. And about 98% of the time, it's spot on. Gassed out of your mind, can't believe how tired you are. And luckily, he went out through the whole fight. It was a great fight between these two guys, and my guy pulled out a decision barely and won the fight. But at the end of round 3, he fell down on the ground. I'm like, get up.
Yeah.
Get the fuck up. Man. You're embarrassing me. Get up. We'll do this shit in the back room if we need to, but get up, right? And he was so fucking tired that he couldn't even stand up. He's so tired after 3 1.5 minute rounds.
Yeah. Ooh. Well,
teaches them a lesson.
I was gonna just
now they know.
Yeah. That, and I cut my teeth. I talk about this all the time, but like I did my West Coast smoker. It was the very first time, and it was at the end of the night. I want to say this is back before they were as refined as they are now, but they do a great job there now. And they always have. But it was like, I want to say they put us in at like a 5-minute round or a 4-minute round, like MMA length rounds, and it was against RJ Hoyt. Who just fought, and it was his first 6 months, my first 6 months, and he showed up late. They didn't match me, and we're like, there's a 40-pound discrepancy. We're like, fuck it, did it anyway. And so, man, was I wrecked after that first round. And Crew Jones is like, cardio. I don't care who you are. Like, I don't care if you can't fight. Your cardio is going to be top notch first, and that is what saved me from being that guy, like collapsing, wanting to quit. Maybe this isn't for me. Because like you can scale up and then hopefully have enough for that. But like if you're not doing that cardio stuff and then you're going to go in there, especially your first couple of events, things that, that may be enough to question your heart.
Absolutely. I've seen it happen multiple times, guys out of my gym to where they quit. And then they don't fight no more to where, during that fight, somewhere within that fight, they gas out and they quit on themselves. And, they go down and they're looking around. And then as soon as, the count's over, they stand back up. And I'm like, we both know what you just did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's sad to see sometimes when people quit on themselves like that, because they have enough potential. Every person has fighting in their DNA. Everybody's got potential.
Yeah.
To quit on a bad day isn't it, like if you're gonna do, I would say like a football player Barry Sanders. I'm like, if you're gonna quit at the top of your, at the very top. You know what I mean? Don't wait. Like I love Bernard Hopkins. He did it. He was amazing, but he quit. Way late in his career, even though he's still able to, but he's getting knocked through the ropes. Last couple of fights or one of his last.
Oh yeah, fights. Yeah. But
again, dialing it back to being a beginner or in the first like 5 fight range or whatever, before you know how to really ride your cardio through a fight, not saying you have to have that peak cardio all the time, but you have to know how to ride that wave.
Absolutely. That's what we try. Julian and I try to tell people that all the time. Same thing with Ollie. Ollie Tiglau is my MMA coach.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I don't know if you know, Paul Bordeaux is my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. Mm-hmm. We tell them all, when they're doing kickboxing or MMA or boxing fights, brother, cardio is everything. Cardio is, you could be the far superior fighter. And if you can't end that person in round number 1 and they've got cardio, they will beat you in the later rounds just by their cardio. Because if you can't throw because you're gassed out of your mind and your body don't go in sync, you will lose.
Yep.
So cardio is king. I mean, it is a huge, huge weapon. And I've got a couple of guys out of my gym that have monster, like probably my biggest cardio guy is Mikey McKinney, pro kickboxer that just fought on War and beat really super tough guy Armando Best.
Oh, yep.
Mikey's cardio is like DJ's back in the UFC.
Okay, yes.
He's got cardio that he can push such a fucking pace. It's unreal. And he pushed a pace so hard on Armando that it broke Armando, with all due respect, in the later rounds. He just couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up with the volume and the pace, and Mikey just stayed on him. And if Mikey didn't do that, Armando from range, and he's got a Taekwondo background and a kickboxing background and MMA, he can, from range, Mikey would lose. Armando would keep him at bay with his kicks, and we lose out there. I said, you've got to get in on this guy, make it ugly, and put volume on him. Don't let him breathe. And then as soon as he exits out, get back on him. Julian and I are always, when you're in your offensive game, because I'm huge into I want offense.
Yeah.
Offense wins fights.
Best defense is a strong offense.
Fucking A. And I tell all my guys, when we enter with our offense, you have to have proper defense. Because if not, you're fucked. Because a really good counter striker will find his range. He's going to find his mark. He's going to time you out, and he's going to see your mistakes. And then he's going to He's going to exploit you. So I need proper defense when you're executing aggressive offense.
Exactly.
And that's what Mikey did. Other than Armando got him good at the very end of the fight, to where it was a well placed elbow with like 15 seconds left, and Armando blasted him, and 20 stitches in his eyebrow later with like 20 seconds to go in the fight. I'm like, fuck. I'm like going, we were through this thing clean.
Now.
I know. 20 seconds left, and Armando blasts him with a good elbow and splits Mikey wide open. So good for him for that. But 20 seconds. It's like
that's. I don't mean to laugh. It's just like I see myself in that position. It's like, man, as long as I don't bleed out or the doctor stops it, we're gonna be fine.
Yep.
But it's gotta happen now.
Yep.
I
know.
And then to that degree of damage, it's like,
oh yeah.
It's just sometimes the cookie crumbles a little bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that I was like,
just got crumbs. But
after the fight, I'm like, well, we're gonna celebrate at the emergency room because we're going to the hospital.
Yeah, that's what they call that, a Pyrrhic victory. Not really, but I would still take that victory. But I always talk about the Pyrrhic victory. Don't lose at too great of a cost. Don't die on your shield, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be that fighter, everyone loves those kind of fighters, but be smarter. Be smarter than that guy that just goes to war with bad weapons or bad defense.
I can't. I've got
small shield and a stunted sword.
Another one that I've got I won't say his name, but I've got a big dude. He's a big ass dude, 85 or 205er.
Oh yeah.
And he's won multiple kickboxing championships, amateur and pro. But he just never puts in enough work for his cardio. And he always relies on one punch.
Oh, yeah.
Just that kind of guy. And every single fight camp, he's telling me that I'm going to be here. I'll change this one. I know I need to. And then he goes into his fights, loses round 1, loses round 2, loses round 3. And I'm like, every round, I'm like, okay, we're down again. You got to start throwing. But he's got, he's just not really saying much. I'm trying to tell him some stuff. And, Julian and I between rounds, and he's just breathing heavy, and I'm like, going, brother, we got to throw. You're down 3. Now you're down 4. You got to knock him out. And then some way, somehow, this fucker does it every time. Bang! Round 5 takes him out. Right? Then when the fight's over, he's like, hey, and then he'll tell us, I heard everything you're saying, but I just didn't have the cardio. I couldn't do it. I couldn't throw because I had no cardio.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, one of these days, that's not going to be there for you. And your one punch isn't going to be enough, and you're going to lose the fights because you're not putting in the work.
I think every camp has one of those. I think every gym, every camp has one of those guys that's like, I'm not going to say I feel like that's one of those high talented, or like you have a certain special thing about you as a fighter, and you have to put in that work. Like nobody makes it to the NFL to being lazy type shit.
For real.
You know what I mean? And and that's not like, it's not changeable. Like anybody, like you said, anybody can decide today they're going to get up and they're going to go do better.
Yeah.
Like in this moment, especially if you're already skilled and you're already high level like that. And it sucks because like we said, they know their cardio, they know how to ride it at times, but when that jawbone drops and your footwork goes to shit because you're tired, like you're sitting duck. It sucks. And I've been there. I don't know anybody that hasn't. I mean, I'm not saying I was never super high level, any of that kind of stuff. Never even went pro. But at this, I mean, remember, Western Washington is not the best scene for that for a kickboxer. No, I mean, it's getting better.
It is.
But still, it's I think every camp has somebody like that's highly talented or has something very special about them, and maybe doesn't do everything they can. And I always say, like, the very greatest fighter that you're ever going to see, you'll probably never see, or you'll never see the best fighter in the world because they're doing other things. So, they're a firefighter that's feeding their family or whatever. And you're like, dude, this guy is special. And they're like, I don't care.
Yep.
Like, I'm doing this. Like, they have no interest in it. But when you have something special about it, like, go all in on that. And if your coaches are telling you, like, you need to do better, they're investing something into you that they don't have to. They don't have to say that to you. They can let you die on your shield, but that's not a good coach. So you being a good coach and at least saying these things. And I wanted to comment on how you're telling your fighters in between rounds, like, we lost that one. We lost that one. We lost this one too. You have to knock them out now. That awareness, even if they don't want to hear it, because how many sensitive ass fighters are out there? Oh, fuck. Oh, don't fucking tell me that, blah, blah, blah. Well, then fucking do better.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm that guy. I've seen coaches, even at the highest level, in the UFC and things like that, they tell their fighter they won that round when they clearly lost that round. Or you're up in the fight and you're clearly not up in the fight. I tell my guys before the fights, and I tell them all in training camp, my fight IQ, I think, is pretty high when it comes to whether or not I think you won or lost a round.
I agree.
And I'm going to give you my best opinion on each round. If I think you won it or lost it, or it's so close it could be a coin flip. And I'll let you know between rounds whether or not it's a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. Okay, you clearly won round one. I'm going to let you know, great job, rinse, repeat, here we go again, adjust between the rounds, and here we go. Or if you lost, you clearly lost that round. I don't care about round 3 right now. The only round I give a fuck about right now is round 2. We must win round 2.
Yeah,
right.
Gotta get that one back.
Right, exactly. Or if it's close, hey, coin flip, dude. It could go either way. Yeah. And when I say that to my fighters too, it's a coin flip. It can go either way. Let's just assume you lost that round.
Right. Exactly.
I'd rather have you thinking, fuck, I gotta go, because I don't want you coasting. Because I've had fighters before, they think they're winning and they go out in round number 3 or round number 5 and they're coasting and they lose. And I'm like going, why did you take the foot off the pedal? Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I was ahead in the fight. I'm like going, dude, they had it 2 each, and you coasted round 3 and he won.
Yeah. So that's a great point, actually. Like, say we're going into round 3 and it's kind of a coin flip. You gotta win that next round, like dominantly, because it's gonna overshadow that kind of round. Now you're later in the fight, and you're doing better than your other opponent. When it could have gone either way the whole rest of the way. No, now is when they saw you start to take off. So
step up,
like win that next round. Yeah,
I'm all about that, and I'm that guy too. Where if I think you're down, all the way down, and I just tell them at the last round, I'm like going, do you want to survive, or do you want to win?
Right.
Because if you want to survive, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
If you want to take chances and win, fall on your fucking shield. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Go out there and do the best you can and go as hard as you fucking can, because there's no other round. This is the last round. Do you want to survive, or do you want to win?
Yep.
And then I'm like, you make that choice right now. Here we go. Go out there and knock this guy out. And you got to go.
And that mentality in there, and you coaching that mentality, that can go from first fight all the way up to the last fight.
Absolutely.
So good on you, man. All right. So I'm in September. I've been so busy lately, but October 11th, it's going to be a dope show. So I was at was it April 19th one?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun too. Can't remember who, was that Anthony that fought on that one? We had a fight.
Yeah, Anthony Tiglau.
Yeah.
He fought, God, who did he fight? Was it
from your guys?
EJ Jamino, I think he fought.
That was a great fight.
That was a really, really good fight. It was one of those, I love it, but I hate it things, because Anthony has trained at my gym before. His dad obviously is my grappling instructor,
right.
and for MMA, and I really, really respect and care about Anthony. You know, and then it was one of those things where, man, I want you to win every one of your fights, but this one. He's fighting my guy, you know, and so it was one of those things to where I'm like going, God damn it. I'm like going, during the fight, when we were winning it, I had a pit in my gut, because I'm like going, I want Anthony to win his fights. I'm a big fan of his. I love watching him fight. His skill set is really good. And EJ just had a better night that night, you know, and won the fight. And it was one of those things that I was really super happy for my guy, but then I was really, really sad for Anthony, because I really care about the kid, you know, and it was one of those, I love it, but I hate it things, you know.
That happens sometimes.
It's
and same. I was like, man, I'm coming, you know, I've got a great picture of me and Julian coming and meeting, shaking hands where they're hugging it out in the back. And, you know, just those kind of moments, win, lose, or draw, just mean a lot. Because what I always say, like, when I hit this point, it doesn't matter what my record is. I have a lot of great memories.
Hell yeah.
And I wish I had a lot more pictures, because that was back, I always talk, it was like when it's taboo to be like, check me out, I'm training. You know, now everybody does that. I mean,
it's all over now.
It's almost what this fucking podcast feels like to me. I'm like, no, I'd rather sit down and have a good time and chat it up with somebody rather than me point a camera at me and talk about how I feel about what's going on. And people are like, yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
This is an awesome thing that you're doing, and I think it's going to just keep blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. And like I said, man, I was like, when's my fucking turn? When am I going to be on this?
I'm glad, because Crew Jones hit me up when I'm mopping the gym. And he calls, and I'm like, oh. And I had to do like the demonstration of our Y crew for Master Sauhin for our testing thing. So I'm there late, getting everything set up, and he calls me. He's like, Brian just called me. He wants to get on your show. I was like, yes, fuck yeah. So I was like,
I love it.
Well, because at first you never know how it's gonna go. So I had a couple friends on, and I'm like, well, we'll see. And like, you never know how like the people that have been in the scene for a long time are gonna feel about that. And so it growing to I mean, this is gonna be episode 27, 28. I'm starting to lose track. So
I love it. It's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then having more and more support. Like I keep talking with Jeff Hoiby, trying to get him on sometime next week or two, hopefully before the 11th. So have some great things to share. He's got a wealth of knowledge just like you. But getting more and more people on, and now every single time I have somebody on, I'm learning something big. So I'm like, ooh, I'm going to take that little tidbit away. So always being a student as a coach. You know
hell yeah. I agree.
To learn twice. That's what I'm doing with this. I'm like, oh, new perspective.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I appreciate having you on, because
it's my pleasure.
Wealth of knowledge too.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, this is good fun. I enjoy this.
So how long have you owned your kickboxing academy?
I've had my academy for close to like 26 years.
Man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, I used to hear radio ads back in the day on like KISW and like Funky Monkey, and be like, check out Brian Johnson's Kickboxing Academy in Olympia. I'm like, kickboxing, okay, that's cool. And then I remember like driving by it randomly. I'm like, that's the fucking place. So a weird little connotation, because at the time, it was what, like 200 something, 2010 before.
Exactly.
Before I started, but it was a small sport back then. Like,
it was.
And so to drive by a spot and you're like, okay, that's where, and having the understanding that you could have everybody from like Demetrius Johnson to a day one person on the same class in the same doors. Yep. And it's not like a celebrity thing to where you have to go to Hollywood and get like in these cool parties and get accepted. You just go in there and want to be a better person. You're going to meet people that have these pedigrees, you know?
I totally agree. I feel blessed. I love what I do. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't love my job when I go to my gym, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything other than what I do right now and teaching, kids, women and men, young teenagers and things like that, be that role model for them, be that guide to where, I help them. And I come from a humble background to where my instructor, my first school, my mom didn't have a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And after I was 10, and when I turned like 12 or 13, my mom and dad got a divorce, and she couldn't afford it anymore, and so I had to quit. And my instructor knocked on my door. Her name was Maria Warwick, and it was one of the things that was going to choke me up. She said, "You can come back to the gym, and we care about you, and we love you, and we want you to. You can just clean the mats once a week, and you can train for free." And because of her being so generous to me, we wouldn't be having this talk right now if it wasn't for her and her generosity. So it was huge impact in my life.
That, you know how many people have their version of that story, and it's beautiful because I come from a good background, but not, and then my parents got divorced, and same thing. And if I hadn't met Crew Jones, I was 25, 26 when I met him. Like I talk about my best friend, Steven. If he hadn't let me live with him, or like my mom being there, like I probably would have ended up homeless or something like that. And without him being there for me and guiding me and finally finding something that like provided a value to me, something that I loved, and I was able to love myself in turn, to have somebody actually like invest themselves in me when there was nothing for them to no return, no return on investment, and now to be able to be in a position where I can help provide that, like you are, because you never know which one of those kids in your school you're providing that to. You know what I mean? And I always say to my students, do your best, be your best, because you never know who's looking at you and admiring you from afar. Like, man, I really wish I could be like that. Really wish I could do more. So you have an entire gym, an entire community of people because of that. Like, that lineage is so important. Those people in the community that do these extra things and go out of their way. And we don't, you know this as well as anybody, we don't do this for money. You know, there's no huge money in the sport. Even as like top-notch fighters get paid well, everybody else is shit.
Yeah.
And so for you to have an instructor in a tough time come back and personally find you and pull you back in, and that change your life that way, that should have that level of an impact. It
changed my whole life. Well, like I said, we wouldn't be having this talk right now. And I've, throughout the years, I try to pay it forward. And I've had many people that in my gym that they can't afford memberships, and all of them train at my gym for free. And I'm not at all. It's one of those things to where and I've seen kids out on the streets that there's a bus stop in front of my gym, and I see some people that I'm walking, hey man, what are you doing? And nothing. I'm like, well, you ever thought about this? And they're like, well, my parents don't have any money, I can't afford it. I'm like, well, bring your mom and dad in here and sign a liability form. You can train at my gym for free. And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, you can train here for free. And I just want to give back to where, if people can't afford it, you can still train at my gym.
It's more important about getting people into and like finding an avenue to. It's not an avenue to fight. It's an avenue to better yourself in a way that you didn't understand you could. Like, to be disciplined and be happy about it, and to understand that there's something bigger than today or bigger than this moment to look forward to, and just having a safe environment that you can know that you're going to grow in, and that whatever that does to your brain. But thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. It just chokes me up, because it's like, if it wasn't for her and her generosity, I don't even know where I'd be right now. I really don't. Martial arts has been my whole entire life. Since I was 10 years old, I started training, and it's all I ever wanted to do. I missed my senior prom. I was fighting in Canada, in Vancouver, on my senior prom night. I chose martial arts over, things like that. And, and
I always say this is my social life now.
It is. This is that thing when everybody else was out partying and doing whatever. I was in the gym training, and back in the day when I was a younger man, it was 6 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day, every day, no matter what, so now when I see the up and coming generation right now, that some of the half-assers, I don't understand it, and I just don't, to where it's like, man, if this is something you want to do and you really want to compete and you want to, there's gym training, men, women, children, fighting is like in my gym, I've got a 5% fight team ratio to everybody else in the gym that are all just
pretty
the grocery store clerks and, that works for the post office and whatever it may be. They're not fighters. They come into the gym because this is their place to where they feel safe. They get a really great workout. They're learning self-defense, you know, and or we teach cardio kickboxing and stuff like that. Just all that kind of stuff. You know, this is a place just to come and be in an environment of being positive.
Right.
5% want to fight, but the 5% that want to fight, if you tell me, Zach, that you want to fight, I hold you at a whole different standard.
Yes.
Now, the gym training, hey, where you been? I miss you in the gym. Come on, you know, life, okay, well, just get in there when you can.
No niceties now.
If you're in that 5% ratio that you tell me you want to fight now I'm on your ass. Because if like we talked about earlier, we're not playing. It's fighting, and it's a sport, and it's awesome, and I love it. Boxing, kickboxing, and MMA, and I can't stand it when I hate the ratio of when, you know, the MMA-ish newer breed crowd talks about kickboxing and boxing, that it's not real fighting. Fuck it ain't.
Oh yeah, right. Go into any gym that does it.
Yeah, boxing and kickboxing, when you're putting hands and feet on somebody's face to try to knock him out, it's a fucking fight. There's just levels of, if you just want to go into boxing, you want to do striking and kickboxing or do MMA, wherever it is that you're leveling up to compete in a competitive fight world, it's fighting. You know, and then you level up wherever you're at, where you want to go, because a lot of people, they don't want to do MMA, they want to box or kickbox. You know, and it's
a lot of that also comes from how they got introduced into the sport.
Absolutely.
If they found a kickboxing coach, or if they found an MMA coach, or if they found a boxing coach, a lot of them finds value in those people and the ones that, like we're talking about, drawing them in. So it doesn't mean like, I mean, judo, you can do anything. You can do fucking
judo can be dangerous.
You know,
I mean, it's
Krav Maga done right. I mean, there's a whole Israeli military that does it, but they, you know, you really got to be into that shit.
Well, I have also
just teach MMA if you're doing Krav Maga. For my buddy Shane.
No shit.
He's a Krav Maga coach, but he's like, I just teach him dirty MMA. That's it. He's like, I don't. So not that he's not legit, but you know.
I mean, there's levels.
He's an MMA fighter that got a job.
I was with Tumwater Police for years before I got into owning a gym and defensive tactics and things like that. You know, it's just leveling up for that kind of thing. And, you know, and I remember way back when I went through the police academy, and I was going through stuff with the defensive tactics instructor, like, take him down, you know, if you can, and took him down, took his neck, choked him, and they're like, whoa, you can't do that here. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that here? And they're like, they were way back, this is, you know, 30 some years ago.
I see.
This is way back, you know, where I put somebody in a Kimura, whatever it may be. They're like, wait a minute, we don't do that here. You know, and they were doing just hand-to-hand, gooseneck, things like that. And they wanted no part of that stuff. Now it's every day, it's all day in the police forces door. I mean, jiu-jitsu is huge.
Kevin White teaches up there. So
it was taboo 30 some years ago. It was taboo when I was doing that stuff to him.
Required.
It's required now. That I'm like, well, why would you not? This is, I mean, you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna tussle somebody, you're gonna take them down. You know, and they were all about positioning for, you know, putting an arm behind your back to cuff them. Well, what if they're not going to comply? Then what? Right. So it's a whole different ballgame from what it was then to where it is now, and all that stuff. But
well, you never know, because that you having those conversations could be like, you know, somebody the next day or the next week could be like, you know what, that's legit, we need to go check that out. So you never know when, like, just even if they don't like it, when they boom, those conversations still happen. You're still planting those seeds. So
absolutely,
you know. So man, that's actually kind of cool though, because you know how Marcelo has been involved in, like, training people up at Joint Base Lewis McCord. They're deeply involved in Seattle PD, and I believe some of the state PD. I'm not sure the exact specifications. I know some of the guys from Logic Jiu-Jitsu right down the road. I can't remember if it's Caleb or they work directly there. But now Kevin White, who we talked about earlier, he's back down at our gym, and he teaches them. He's like, you know what? I walk around with a pool noodle and just be like, you're dead. You're dead. And then he's like, they don't know what they're doing. It's like, forgive my language. He's like, it's like coaching fucking retards.
Dude, you would be surprised.
I say it all the time, but not publicly on the podcast. It was the first time I said that, so forgive me. I don't mean, but
I know what you mean.
A 90s slang, not a slur towards anybody.
Absolutely. You'd be surprised when I went through defensive tactics and or at the department. Every 6 months, we have to do an 8-hour course on defensive tactics.
Right.
About 95%, this is back 30 years ago, knew nothing. And I'm like going, this is scary to me. You know nothing about defending yourself.
Except for how to pull a gun.
Yeah, you had, and this is, I was in before there was tasers. It was pepper spray and asp and your gun, and a knife, things like that. And before the body cams and all that. And I'm like going, 98% of them had no idea how to defend themselves, like none. And I'm like, God damn.
And it's kind of it's going to come down to that sooner or later. It's kind of your job.
It is your job. And I'm like,
you need to be able to protect yourself first to be able to provide a service.
To protect other people.
To protect other people.
And or to protect your co-companion worker.
Right.
And I was blown away, and it's 100 million times better today. I'm not saying that way back in the day, there wasn't some bad motherfucking police officers, because there was.
Right.
But there was a lot of clowns also back in the day where I'm like, just absolutely dumbfounded by their lack of self-defense training skills. And you got the uniform on out there conducting yourself as you're the authority. And if somebody fights back, you're in trouble. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah. I always have the image in my head of like the cop that can't do shit is like, remember the show with Steve Urkel, Family Matters?
Oh yeah.
And the dad next door, he's the cop, but he's a big fat dude, always eating donuts and stuff. And it's like, bro, like what are you gonna do?
What
and
are you
they lived
gonna
in
do?
Chicago. Like, yeah, right.
Radio for that's it.
Yeah, call for backup.
Well, my take with that one more thing is with law enforcement, not trying to pan on, because I'm huge into law enforcement.
Yeah, much respect.
But
I love that it's getting
in order
better.
to get in, you have to pass physical.
Right.
My opinion, you should have to pass that physical every single year that you're a police officer and or a fireman, because lives are on the line.
Right.
And once you pass that physical and you're in, no more. And then, I see, lots of law enforcement that are not such great shape, and they couldn't pass physical to save themselves.
Right.
And I've got a lot of friends that are overweight police officers, and I think it should be a mandatory thing that all law enforcement and firefighters should have to pass once a year of physical.
I agree entirely.
End of story.
How are you, going back to it, how are you going to protect others if you can't take care of yourself?
Absolutely.
And
you'll make bad decisions and judgments if you can't.
And I hear the fact that they're very busy. Their schedules are hectic. They're always working. You create the time. The time's not going to just fall in your lap. You have to create that time to be a better version. And there's time to sit there and eat donuts. There's time to sit there and meal prep. There's time to sit there and fucking go and wait in fast food lines. There's time to do push-ups.
Yep. Oh, so, yeah. I've got in my gym, we give law enforcement, firefighter, and military discount, and I have a ton of police officers that train out of my gym, and there's
us as well, and Homeland Security, all kinds of weird
all that stuff like that.
Like,
I've got military contractors that used to be in the military that they're Captain Commando badass now.
We got our mercenary. Dude you're going on your retirement mission? What does that mean? It's like, he's going here to retire. I'm like,
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Now those guys, big props, or any of those
huge
that
props.
come in and and I have a lot of law enforcement at my gym that they're like keeping on the down low, because there's a lot of police haters, which I don't like, but it is what it is. And so I keep it on the down low when they sign up, that they tell me they're law enforcement, and they're like, I'd like to keep that discreet. I'm like, nobody will know except for me, and then
love it.
You're in.
Love it. Yeah. This kind of boils back to, so I worked at Winco for a long time. We'd always get loss prevention stops, because we're a private owned company, and we're hands on, as where like a lot of places have to watch you walk out.
I'd have a hard time with that.
So, well, that's why we didn't. So we tackled people outside. I got video of me hip tossing a heroin dude, and the fucking LP guy like create the distance, stepped over and tossed him. LP went flying with him and fucking lands on his arm, and dude's just leaning over like this. I'm like, I was in my management clothes and stuff like that. But no, just like the LP people, when they would be like out in public, out in like Walmart, because now the people can't shop at Winco anymore where he busted them. Some of them are at Walmart, and then you shop at Walmart too. So it's like, oh, I remember that motherfucker's the one that arrested me. It's like, I don't want to be in this position anymore.
Yeah.
So to keep it discreet and stuff like that, it's always important, because you never know when you're going to walk outside and find that person that is already a questionable or a bad person.
Yep.
And is willing to continue to be so.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Yep. Accountability. But I digress. Back to everything. I wanted to hopefully shout out to Julian Martin.
He's a bad motherfucker.
hopefully get him on camera, even if it's for 20, 30 minutes. That'd be great. So if you ever want to come back on and bring him along, that would be cool.
I would love to. Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge through our gym, and I love him deeply. And yeah, he's a huge asset for me at the gym, and good positive, positive friend of mine.
Yeah, I've always had a ton of respect for you guys, and being that Julian and I were fighting like right around the same time, like we got him on the Absolute Chaos thing here with Jared, and
I love it.
And then to see him across the ring coaching, and like have Crew Jones and you guys kind of be on the other side of that, and like just layers on layers of the generations that come along.
I love the respect of things like that, to where it's a competition. And with the fight too, it's fighting, but it's a competition. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, when it's over, we're all friends.
Yep.
You know, and I mean,
positive memories.
Mad respect. And I've had a few times, throughout all the years that I've been doing it, that, the coaches, when we're done, we'll hug it out, shake it out, win or lose, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
There's coaches that'll blow you off and walk away, which I don't understand that. I just
been there too.
Disrespect. I don't understand it. It's a competition. You signed up for this. Mm-hmm. It's a competition. It's a fight, but it's a competition.
Yeah.
And let it happen right here. And then when it's over, we hug it out.
Yeah, that's the sportsmanship side of it.
It really is.
And I always think about, like, my grandfather always used to talk about craftsmanship, workmanship. And he's like, do a good job at everything that you do. If you're going to do something, even if you're not good at it, like, because you're a beginner, get better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a podcast. I'm trying to get better at what I do. But watching, just kind of dialing it back to... like the layers of respect, the generations teaching the next generation how to show respect.
I love it.
Not everybody has that environment. So
They don't.
hopefully, and what I always tell people is kind of segueing into this is, let's say we get somebody that moves down south towards where you're at. I'm like, stay in the sport. You know what I mean? Like, go check them out. Like, I don't have any, like, rivalries like that. Like,
yeah.
Stay in the sport. Go find the place. Even if you're like, I like Muay Thai, I like jiu-jitsu, whatever, but I want to do this. I'm going to go over there. Like, Isaac's been training over at Luda Sport. It's like, get the proper training. We've had multiple people leave our gym, as it happens.
It happens everywhere.
Like, hey, if you're interested, there's a gym over here. Great coach. Pop in there and just say hello. Maybe you'll like that place too, and be able to fit that in your new schedule or whatever.
Absolutely.
And to be able to pass that kind of thing on, and that have that respect between schools, like that, I feel like that should be a big part of our community goals. And for people that kind of poo-poo on that kind of stuff or working together, it draws the community back a little bit. So you being working with so many people for so many years on like fight promotions, and having the gym for so many years, and same over here in Fife, like we've had, like, Crew Jones used to run his thing. And to be able to like have that competition, as you said, but still have the sportsmanship and the respect, that to me shows so much about our sport for what we do. You look at other like football players, or if you look at not necessarily like other sports where they get really bitter, or especially like one-on-one sports, and people that are in it for the money or whatever, or just really don't have any respect because of their ego. I feel like our Western Washington community is very small on ego and very big on respect, and I want us to get our fucking name out there.
I agree totally on everything you just said right there. Yeah, I think that put the ego on the back burner, and respect, and just show it. I mean, there's no place for animosity, and it's fucking competition. It's all it is. I've had it before, to where before the fights, I'm sitting down with the other coach and we're just hanging out talking.
Love it.
And just blah, blah, blah. See you out there, boom, knuckle pump. And then we go out and we do our thing over there on the other side. I'm like, and here we go. And then when it's over, it's over.
Yeah, like I don't know why I don't understand it, but it just doesn't make sense, because I'm happy to see everybody. I'm like, hey, I'm in a great, like, I don't know, I'm not mad because my fighter's about to fight somebody.
Yeah.
This isn't I don't understand it.
Getting mad is not the answer. It's
like what did you do wrong in your book to make you upset? Because usually that's a projection thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if you have animosity towards a certain coach, but still it's a competition. This competition starts inside the gym.
Oh yeah, it really does. And there's certain teams that I don't want to lose, and I won't name any teams, but I don't want to lose to them. You know what I mean? And it's just a little, if you do, and it happens. It's happened to me multiple times, and then I've been on the winning end of that too, to where, it is what it is, but, they'll never know it, and I keep that inside, and it is what it is, but, everybody gets respect. Yep. Everybody does, even the people that, might not like me and or whatever, you get my respect. When we're there, you get my respect, whether or not it's on my card or other cards, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's about, I'm going to show you respect that day, and I would hope you're going to do the same for me.
I love that. To me, that falls down to, I always say, put out your best, put out that respect, and just eat the loss. Like, if there's a loss, like, we've all lost, whether it's, fighting or financially, or like a little inside the games. Like, think about like the hothead outside in the world when you're like, I'll kick your ass, and you're like, no, you won't, but I'm going to eat this loss.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you think it. Because what I have, my win is getting to where I was going, is where getting to the gym or making the fight happen on the 11th, or just being a good person, continuing life, versus somebody who's willing to risk that over whatever reason. But,
I totally agree.
Yeah, eat the ego, starve the ego, feed the soul, as my buddy's Nick over at Karma does.
I like it. Good for Nick.
Yeah. And man, that's my buddy. Like, he's I know he's really trying to carve his path right now, and he's drawing a lot from like what you guys have always done, drawing a lot from the fight community, and I know he wants to do it the right way. And so jumping in head first of it, like, shout out to Nick. He had Abel and Jeff on his first event. Like, he wants to do it the right way, and providing a good example of that. Like, you're a big staple of that.
Oh, thank you, brother. Yeah, Nick is a good friend of mine, and I had a fighter on the card, but my guy was fighting pulled out right beforehand, so I wasn't able to be there because my guy's opponent pulled. But
that's the worst.
It sucks. I wanted to be there for Nick. I wanted to support his first show, and then that happened where my guy lost his fight. But I've heard nothing but good things about the card. That Jeff told me that it ran great, and that he did really well, and the matches were good, and
they were,
and everything was good. And so big props to Nick for putting that first one on, because the first one can be a motherfucker. It's scary as scary can be, and just not knowing everything, and just trying to piece it together. And it's anybody that's gonna dive into that world of promoting. It's a scary thing, but I enjoy it, but I hate it. It's one of those things that's it's a love-hate thing, to where it's massive pressure, but my wife and I continue to do it, and I think we have a good product in the Northwest Fight Challenge.
Yeah.
And we try to do it right. We try to check all the boxes off to where everybody, like I said, we were talking about, win or lose, you leave the Northwest Fight Challenge with a good experience, that was a good show, and that our fighter, win or lose, we had a good time there. It was a fair match, but we didn't win, or we did win, whatever it may be, it was put together good, and because I take huge pride in what I do. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about it earlier, I'm obsessive compulsive. I check, double check, triple check, and quadruple check everything. I'm a maniac when it comes to stuff like that, to where that's why I only do it twice a year, because I lose my fucking mind.
I don't know how people can do it more than 3 times a year. I don't understand it. Like, do you have like a huge team of people doing all these? Like, I just don't get it.
I don't understand it. And there's a lot of people that do it, that they go back to back to back to back to back, and be putting fight cards on. They're year-round, constantly matchmaking, never taking a break. That would burn me out so bad, it's not even funny.
How are you going to spend time coaching your students too? If you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be a sacrifice.
There is. Yeah, you're right. And I just, twice a year for me and my wife and I, we try to put the best product out there.
I was just gonna say, quality product.
And I pride myself in that, to where, I've heard from, tons of people throughout the years that they labeled the Northwest Fight Challenge for the all amateur fight card, that we are the Super Bowl of all amateur MMA for our fight card. And I take pride in that. I when they said that, I'm like, I'm gonna keep that. And because they've said that to me before, that you are the Super Bowl of amateur MMA and kickboxing, what you blend together, and we try to make it that way every single fight card that we put on. I want it to be better than the last one. Yeah. And we just keep striving for just these, like we're talking about, money for the tickets. It's your hard-earned money that I want you to, when you come here, to not like that fucking card sucked.
Yeah,
you know,
spent
and
too
I just
much
spent that money on that. That was garbage.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to
Buyer's
leave
remorse.
for real.
Yeah.
I don't want that, and I take pride in what we try to accomplish with that, and I don't want you to leave with that bitter taste in your mouth. So I try to do the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have we made mistakes? Oh, hell yeah, everybody makes mistakes. You know, everybody, you have, you know, it's a learning process, you know, and I made my fair share of mistakes, you know, going through the motions for, you know, 20 some odd years of, you know, being the promoter matchmaker. But you learn and you grow from your mistakes. And if you don't grow from your mistakes, you'll lose, you know, and you won't have that any longer. And so, you know, we try to make it right, you know.
Well, you do great. And like you said, it only takes one bad experience to kind of lose somebody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you can have people fucking showing up at every single one and then having have really bad experience and they don't show back up. There's plenty of options. So continuing to put out a quality product, that means a lot, like, to the Pacific Northwest. So again, there's people that are going to aspire to be on your show. So
that to me, it warms my heart. I mean, because I love hearing that when they're like, I just, when am I going to get on your show? And I'm like, that makes me feel really good when, you know, when I have all these gyms that point and go, when can I be on your show? And I'm like going, I love that. You know, it makes me feel good.
I've got one person in particular I'm thinking of. She actually fought Julie on, so Jillian Moore, shout out to G.
Yes, tough, super tough girl.
I know she got a concussion a while back. She's been in and out of the gym, kind of dealing with the, you know, a bad one, how it can take a time, take its toll and take some time. But I remember having her do like her first smoker and then like a sparring thing out at legendary Crew Brooks promotion, and then we're back over there. She's like, I want to. Oh, and I think you were at the West Coast Smoker when she did. She's like, I want to get on Brian Johnson's card, and it was like one of these times. So it's like, you know, everybody, you know, you provide a good environment, so people wanting to get on that card, especially how I like how it's a little bit limited on kickboxing, so it makes it a little more exclusive.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like 70-30.
Yeah.
70% MMA, 30% kickboxing. But then it's like a lot of times when I've got some sponsors that they're MMA. Right. And when they first started being a sponsor, when I told them, you know, well, there's going to be, you know, 30% kickboxing, fuck kickboxing. And I'm like, trust me, fans. You are going to see the highest level of kickboxing and K1 kickboxing in my fight card that they're going to trump the MMA fights. Trust me. And when they see it for the first time, and I got to do a shout out to Rob K, my 205-pound champion. He's a bad motherfucker. And he's been the main event over and over again on the card multiple time, undefeated 9-0 kickboxing champion. When he steals the show, because that guy's got thunder in his hands.
I was just going to say that. He came to Rob, shout out to Rob. He came out to our gym one morning. We did a super early morning when Taki came back to town.
Taki's tough.
And we were sparring for like an hour and a half, and they showed up. And then he's like, wham, wham, wham. I'm like, I'm fat, old, and out of shape, dude. Like, can we take it down? Like, even though I'm a coach, can we still do it? He's like, oh yeah, let's stop it down.
Yeah, he's
I was like, wow,
tough as nails. Sits like a fucking freight train. And when he fights on the cards, I mean, the crowd go bananas. Yeah. You know, along with everything we try to do, like we're talking about Anthony and EJ's fight. Yeah. Killer striking fight. They went out there and whooped each other up. Mm-hmm. And I try to, you know, do that when Jillian and Julie did their fight. I mean, they're like on each other. Yeah. It's just I try to do high-end kickboxing and get it to where the crowd's like, wow. Yeah. You know, wow.
Lot of action.
Lots of action.
Always have lots of action. So like you said, when you're watching these things, even if you're a fan of MMA, or you're a fan of knockouts, you're a fan of big striking, like who isn't kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like, that's what they're going for the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a chance of them going down because that's what they want to do. They want to drop each other.
Yeah, exactly. And they a lot of the times the kickboxing fights steal the show.
I say that especially in the amateurs. Yeah. You know, because, I mean, I guess the pro cards really aren't mixed. You see a lot of like pro-ams and stuff, but they're mostly MMA.
It's all the stuff around here now. Yeah, War's the only one. Big shout out to Landon Showalter. He's a dear friend of mine, and I absolutely love War. It's a great show. I love the show.
Avenue for our kickboxers.
It is.
Muay Thai fighters up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, to Landon, he is.
Shout out to Landon.
Just a phenomenal.
And he's got his son doing really well.
His son Chase put on a show. His last fight before he had his knee surgery. he fought on my card versus a super, super tough opponent. I didn't know which way that fight was going to go. And, oh, fuck. Chase showed me who he is.
Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker. I mean, and I told him when he's off, when he's recouped, I want you back on my card, brother. And it will be fighting for a title because he's that good. And he showed me who he is. And so if he gets back on track, which I know he is, I saw him at the last war that his dad just put on. And he's rehabbing and getting ready to go. But yeah, that young man is legit with a bright future in kickboxing K1, and he's got a great platform with his dad show War.
Exactly. So yeah, some of these things just are serendipitous. You know, they just work.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, Chase's fight. Oh fuck, it was. Fuck me. It was. I don't know if you were at that one or not.
I don't remember it.
Was insane.
It's hard for me to, now that I'm not like actively fighting or anything, it's hard for me to keep track of every single fight, but pretty well I'm doing a better job of keeping track of all the fighters, but Chase is one I've been watching him for a while. Cool, especially because Juan still goes up and fights professionally.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's another OG tough ass dude.
Oh yeah. Fucking I'll call him one of my day ones. In my first month at Street Sook Muay Thai, we take a picture, and it's all beginners because Master Sauhin's like first month training there.
Oh shit!
First month of Master Sauhin Street Sook Muay Thai at the gym, and so Juan's wearing these fucking tube socks that are up to his knee, and he's training in them the whole time. So there's call him Tube Sock Juan or Tube Sock Jackson, and then me, I'm like over a little bit with a fresh buzzed cut hair and a Under Armour compression shirt. So it's back in the air, sort of like look at each other.
Oh, I love it.
But like that's right when my fight career started, because like I said, I rolled right in 2011, and he went on deployment for about 2 more years and came back and fucking took the scene by storm. I know you've had Juan on your show multiple times. Yeah. He's just for everyone. Every Wednesday at 5 till closing, we open spar at our gym. Okay. Juan's been down multiple. He fucks everybody when he comes down there. That guy, he's a bad motherfucker. He does a tour show in the Pacific Northwest, going to gyms.
He's an ass whooper. ass whooper. I let everybody know when he comes in. I'm like, legit.
Like,
so just know, that what you're getting if you go hard. Just know what you're getting. But every Wednesday at 5 to closing, open sparring at our gym. Anybody's welcome to come, and like I tell everybody, and I mean, my gym, I've never once ever, if people come in from other gyms, there's never been a day I go, here's my brochure, come to my gym.
Right. You're not trying to poach students.
Ever, I would never, ever be that guy that poaches anybody ever, and I've had that happen to me before when I send people out to other gyms, and then my guy comes back and goes, hey, the coach just gave me this with this price sheet, and I'm like,
the other one is when the coaches go over here and then they start trying to be like, you should come check out my gym.
Yeah.
I hate that too.
I just, there's no place for that. And I mean,
you're having people, you're opening sparring to help the community grow and to get a cross training. This is what helps everybody.
It's great for everybody. I look at it like for my team. It's terrible. It's my guys benefit from it. Everybody else can benefit from it, but you're getting different looks. You're not complacent. You're getting things you haven't seen before.
Right.
And then you go back to your home team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is no solicitation. So, I mean, I just want that to be out there, that when people come to my gym, there is no solicitation. It's just welcome in, sign a liability form, have fun, and goodbye.
That's us too. Especially on, we have more, what I would call like scheduled open sparring. So we'd be like, all right, we're going to do open sparring on Friday night. Everybody come down. Or like that time I talked about when Rob showed up. And I know like Nasona came down, and Taki was in town from Utah. So I know you remember Taki.
Oh, yeah.
Taki was one of the first ones. First few fights I remember, because I think he fought on one of your cards.
Yeah, he's fought on my card before.
I know, didn't he win the title at one point?
I'm pretty sure he probably did.
Couldn't remember all the fight cards that he was going to at the time, because he'd fight like once a month.
Yeah.
And so like he was chopping away, but he was also like 38 Tongan dude, and he's like, I'm going pro in the next 2 years. I'm gonna start making money.
Yep.
And he did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taki.
He's the OG, one of the tough guys.
Yeah. I butcher his last name. It's like or something like that.
It's Taki.
Yeah, Taki. Everybody knows Taki.
It's Taki.
But OG, he just started a striking program at a gym down that he's at in Utah.
Oh, so, fantastic. Good for him.
They're gonna do great. kangaroo, front kick, southpaw dude. I fucking love him. I used to tease him about his feet. Like, you got the alligator feet, man.
I love it. I love it.
It was one of my day ones, him and Bo Reedus and Crew Jones.
Bo.
My favorites. Yep. R.I.P. Bo.
Yes.
But, man, another great guy. But that OG crew from back then have like deep-rooted heartstrings there.
Oh yeah, all those guys, man. I cared deeply about all those guys, and I mean, it was good fucking fun times back in those days with all those guys. And another one I forgot to mention, and I'll mention, is Aaron Martin. He's another one. Aaron was my former 145-pound champion for years. Another one. All those guys.
Pretty sure he was at that table too that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
He would have been in that crowd.
Yeah, he was in that crowd. Kevin and Ollie and Nick and
the scary guys from when I started.
Yeah, those guys, all of those guys were champion. Every one of them held belts.
Yeah, it's so scary.
They're all super, super, super tough guys. And I mean,
come sit at this table with these guys I've been training with for 4 months.
It's crazy. Yeah, when they'd come down, we wouldn't spar. We were fucking fighting.
Right.
It was fucking 2.5, 3 hours of a couple 2-3 days a week of we fight.
That's kind of like how we started sparring, and I didn't know that's any better, any different.
Yeah, it's kind of toned itself down now from back in the day to where we'd sling lead at each other's head, and after when we're done, we'd hug it out.
Yeah.
No animosity, nobody's getting pissed off, and let's just have fun and smack
it was with
hard.
the understanding that we're about to go fight.
Yeah.
We're like, this gets us right for that.
And that's, my thing, sorry about that, I didn't mean to interrupt. My thing, what I tell my team, there's times in training for a fight, you got to simulate a fight.
Yeah.
I have guys that come in and they pity pat at 10, 15%. I'm fucking fat and out of shape right now. I can go 10, 15% for 30 fucking rounds.
Right.
Let's go 5 hard rounds. Hard. Like simulate fight rounds to where hard to the legs, hard to the body, 70% to the head. If somebody gets rocked, we back off.
Right.
But if I rock you to body, knock the wind out of you, I'm going to try to knock the wind out of you again or leg kick the fuck out of you.
Crew Jones.
No shit, Brian. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I tell my guys, we have to simulate fights to get ready for a fight. Mm-hmm. There's going to be hard days to where you're going to leave here limping. You're going to leave here, with your ribs bruised and your face battered, and but if you want to fight, this is what we have to do, because we can't pity pat and sparring all the time and then expect to go 3 or 5 hard rounds in a fight to where you're actually 100% fighting, because you don't know as a beginner-ish where we need to level back and sit back and not just go and gas your shit out like we talked about earlier. We got to fight in the gym, and no animosity, but we're going to fight hard. Today's going to be that day to where we're thumping.
Yep.
And I let them all know, today's that day. We're going to step shit up, and here we go, with no bad intentions of trying to hurt each other, but we're trying to hurt each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Controlled tough sparring.
Yes, and that's
every high level.
You need that, in order to fight. And then like I tell my guys, if you see somebody get rung and don't go after them.
No.
Sit back and now let them gain their wits about them, and then don't go hard to their head like that. Now go to their body hard, go to their legs,
right?
But save their head.
Exactly, and I think that's self-control
for real.
Like and understanding.
And no ego.
Right. Like what I always tell people is, if I'm going too hard against one of my students, like, ask me to back off. It's not a tough guy thing to try to power through it. What's more tough, in my opinion, for a person is to say, hey, I need you to change so that you don't damage me as much. Taking the ego out, that's tough.
It really is. And I tell them my greenhorns and stuff like that now too, is like, hey, if somebody's going too hard, step back and go, hey, can we please lighten it up a little bit? There's no shame in that.
Right.
None. You're not ready for what he's given right now. Or here we go. Or the other way around, like back in the day when I used to spar all the time with the guys, we'd do some light rounds at first, and then I tap up, go, you ready to go harder? Mm-hmm. Boom. Now we know we're going to go hard.
Yeah.
What I can't stand is we're going light, and all of a sudden you send my head as a fucking Pez dispenser because you knocked my head to my asshole because I didn't know we're going to go 85, 90%, and I'm going 10%, and you fucking blast me so hard it fucks me up.
They catch me like that all the time, because I'm usually about 30% when we spar, if it's nice and light. Until we have those harder rounds, I'm like, okay. Or I feel like I'm like, if they crack me, I'm like, now I'm gonna go that level too. And they're like, shit. Not everybody, because like Juan will still get me. Crew Jones is still right there, even though he's about to turn 50. Like, you know what I mean?
Tough as nails,
yeah, God, he's just a fucking freak.
He is.
No disrespect, obviously.
In a good way.
Yeah, he's one of those people that I realize, I'm like, fuck, there's levels to this shit, man, because I'm giving it everything I have. I'm like 2 years in. Fight career is like 8 fights or 6 fights the first year, something like that. Going pretty good. People are telling me I'm doing well. And I'm still just getting my ass kicked. I'm like, maybe there's just these levels. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I mean, perfect. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Perfect. Like Julian Martin.
Yeah.
One of my toughest guys in my gym. When he first started, he was getting his ass handed to him by everybody. There's people that go away.
Right.
He just kept showing up. Thank you. May I have another?
Yeah.
And kept going and going and going until I seen the tides turned. And then he started thumping all the people that were thumping him. And now he's the thumper.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so, I mean, it's just where you take it. You know, and like you said, leveling up. And as you progress, you level up if you have it in you, you know, and or you quit and it's not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and so, and yeah, he's one of those guys that just leveled up. But I mean, I saw him get thumped for years, you know, and just kept coming back.
Yeah, love that. Let's call those lifers.
For real.
You know?
Yep, there's people like that, and I'm one of them. Started when I was 10 and I'm 60 now and still doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now that's longevity. I love that because you don't get there without developing a vision at a certain point. Like you talked about how many you've done it for 24 years, you said? 26 years Northwest Fight Challenge?
A little over 24.
And so, do you even keep track of the numbers?
Not anymore.
Northwest Fight
I
Challenge
stopped,
726.
I stopped doing that years and years and years and years and years ago because I forgot what my number was.
Right.
And so now it's just the Northwest Fight Challenge.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah,
need to be any number.
I couldn't remember, and I was trying to remember like what, and I was trying to go back to all my posters and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And I'm like, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know where I put all my posters, and because I keep a poster of every single one of them, and I'm like, I don't know. So now it's just like Northwest Fight Challenge.
I don't think anybody cares what number it is.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the next one.
Yeah,
it's October 11th.
Next one. I want on it. That's what matters.
Exactly. Yeah, October. Well, what I get promoter. I get coaches telling me. You know, when I call for fighters and I'm like going, hey, you know, October 11th, my next card, blah, blah, blah. Start talking about it. Do you have any names for me? You know, for kickboxing, MMA. Like, not this one, but when's your next one? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the next one.
Like a year from right now?
Yeah, that's what I tell them. Exactly. I'm like going, it's like a year from now because, you know, I'm starting, you know, out to match make months and months and months in advance. And then my next one's going to be like 7 months after that. So we're like a year away. I'm not worried about that one right now. I'm only worried about the one in front of me right now. So if you don't have names for me right now, I'll hit you up the next time around. But I'm not worried because, I got a guy for your next one. I'm like going, we'll save that for that day.
Yeah.
But right now.
That guy might not be around by then.
Exactly. So, you know, and I've been that like on this one because there's so many fight cards now. That, I mean, it's a plethora of fight cards. As a matchmaker, kind of pull my hair out sometimes because I try to get the best matchups I possibly can for the Northwest Fight Challenge. And so this time around, and I've done this like 1 or 2 other times, and I was talking to another promoter about this a while ago. I started matchmaking way far out, like 5.5 months out, which I normally don't ever do. But I panicked. I'm like going, I got to get the good guys before there's a promotion 2 weeks before me. There's a promotion 2 weeks after me. I got to get on it.
Well, I mean, it happens, but
yeah, I locked in like 10 fights, just boom, 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 boom. Now, where we're at right now, we're 3 weeks out. 9 out of those 10 fights are no longer on my fight card. They all pulled. So all that hard work I did months and months and months ago to try to get ahead of the curve, nothing. I have none of them except for one. So I did all that for nothing, you know, but I tried to get ahead of the curve. Now it's just like, you know, after this one, I did this like 15 years ago where I started like 6 months early. Same thing happened. Like almost every single fight that I pre-match made a half a year before the fight card, you know, all those fighters either they fought 2 or 3 times before that, they're hurt, they don't want to fight now.
Right.
Life, work, injuries, whatever may happen.
Yeah.
They're gone now, and I've locked them in 5 months before the fight card. They're gone. Right. So now, you know, and this one right here was like a life lesson learning thing for me a second time around. I'm never going to do that again. Okay. You know, now it's, you know what, I'm going to do the adequate amount of time. Whatever fighters are out there at that time, bring it.
Whatever probably fits the bill properly.
Exactly. You know, and I got the thing that I talked to all the coaches, and it's just my thing for the Northwest Fight Challenge. With my team, I don't back to back them. We train like 10 weeks for one fight. I don't fight them before that. They fight only on that fight card. I give you my word. My guy is only going to fight on your card. He will not fight before that. So what I tell all the coaches that I will never tell you what you can or can't do, but this is what I'm going to do. please don't give me any names that you're going to fight a guy 6 weeks before my fight card.
Right, because
please
it might
don't
not be available.
Exactly. One of two things. Number one, they might get hurt if you fight them 6 weeks before my fight card. Number two, as the guy that I put all my money into this, and it's happened to me before. I won't give a name, but I had a fighter that fought on a card. I had him locked into my card, and he took a fight before my card, like 4 weeks before my fight card. This is before I put the 6 week stickler on there. Fought 4 weeks before my card. He sold 177 tickets on that fight card. He sold 32 for me.
Jeez.
4 weeks later.
Yeah.
So I just got fucked. Like, dude, they all came out for the first one, but not mine. I would have had all that on mine if you would have just stuck to my fight card right there rather than fight 4 weeks earlier.
Right.
Didn't get hurt, but ticket sales, I got blasted. 177 to like 32, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, so I tell all the coaches, please, 6 weeks, give me 6 weeks. You know, that you're only going to train your guy for my card. And if you choose to fight your guy before that, just don't give me that guy's name. Don't give me that guy's name.
Yep.
Right? Because if you agree upon it, which again, this is what I'm asking as a matchmaker promoter. If you fight your guy within that timeline after you gave me your word that you're not going to, I'll pull your team from my card.
Right.
Because now I can't trust you. You know, and it hasn't happened yet, thank God.
Right.
Hasn't happened, but that's my thing, that give me 6 weeks, that they just train for the Northwest Fight Challenge. And if you can't do that, don't give me their name. If you can do that, give me their name, fight on my card, and then I don't care what you do. You fight your guys 27,000 times after that. I don't care, but give me 6 weeks. And if you can't, just please don't give me that guy's name or girl. That. Don't. You know, so and then we're good.
We operate like on the other side of that coin as like matchmaking or fighters on like a promotion like yours. We operate basically same, but the other side of that coin, we only submit one fighter for one card. So we're not going to be like, all right, you got to fight on this day, and then you got another fight on this day, and like, nope, because what happens if boom? And we want to have that credibility, and that comes from how Crew Jones always was, and that's how I insist on being on my end.
I love it.
And I'm glad that we kind of got into this, because what I don't like, do not submit your fighter, especially for. So like, let's say there's 3 cards on September 20th, which is yesterday. Don't submit your fighter on all 3 and see who match makes first. That's irresponsible. That's you fishing a whole bunch. Talk to somebody and be like, what is the likelihood? Because I want my fighter to be on this card, or for whatever reason. If you're just trying to throw shit out of the wall, you're going to get shit back. You're going to have a shit pile to clean up.
I totally agree.
You know, so everybody is legitimate now. There are so many fights, so many gyms right now, so many fight promotions that it's not hard to get your fighters matched. You can be like, all right, we're going to fight we got Isaac on the 11th. He does well. Okay. And he's fine and wants to fight. There's another one in 4 weeks. We can just put you plug and play. Hopefully. You know what I mean? And if not, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, but you can stay gas on the pedal.
Absolutely.
What Crew Jones always said to me, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yep, I agree.
Because I've had probably just as many, if not more, fights drop as I have actually fought. And it's because of that. Like, you show up to the venue and they're like, oh, they're not going to be here. What kind of bullshit is that?
I know.
You know, and that comes from reputable teams too. You'd be like,
that's key.
So weird. Like, how do you have a reputable name or such a name like this and you just don't show up to an event?
Yeah.
Because some people want to try to keep that quiet. Like, I'm not going to say I'm talking about a very specific team that did that to me a long time ago, but I'm not going to say their name on my show. I almost did in one time. But, and we've gotten a couple wins back on that team, so it's not like that bad of a thing, but I've always held that chip on my shoulder.
Oh, I get it,
because I gave everything I could to that, and like it's disrespectful to agree to do something like that and then to not give your best.
That's my thing too with the 6 week mark. Say one of your fighters is going to fight on my card, and the other team, your guy's training Isaac. Let's say it's Isaac.
Yeah.
And he's training his ass off for the Northwest Fight Challenge.
Right.
This guy takes a fight 3 or 4 weeks before my card. Isaac's been putting in a 10-week training camp, sold tickets, sacrificing all of his time for this. And this guy fucks him because his coach lets him fight right before my card. Now he's bounced out. Now Isaac just lost. He just lost his opponent. It's not fair to Isaac. It's not fair to you as a coach that you've been putting all that time in with him. now it's for nothing. And so, and I know injuries happen in training. It happens all the time.
Right.
If it's an injury that happens in training, it is what it is.
It is.
But
what
if
it is.
you
We all know
fight
that.
before that, that's why I put the stipulation. I'm like going, and it's not me trying to be Captain Commando. It's just, this is what I need in order to protect myself and the other team for making it to October 11th. It's just give me 6 weeks. And that's not
100%.
asking a lot. You know, that you should, I train my guys 10 to 12 weeks out for a fight, for a specific fight. I try to get as much training as I possibly can for one event.
Right.
You know, and
One event.
And then I tell my guys too, and I'll do the same thing. Like if I get a promoter asking me, hey, what about your guy that's fighting on that card, on my card, 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, I'm like, let me get through this. And if he's unscathed, you can have him. If he chooses to want to do it, then you can have him for sure. But I'm not going to say green light yes until after that, because anything can happen. But he's yours. If you want to wait, when that's over, you can have him if he's healthy.
And I feel like that's the best way to go, because that keeps you from being a liar in anybody else's eyes, because we're having that conversation, right? And you're like, well, I want this guy on my show, even though he's already scheduled here. I'm like, I don't want to turn into a liar because my guy got, and now he can't fight for your guy. And now you're like, fuck, man, I really wanted him on here. I'm like, you knew the stipulation. So we don't even put ourselves in that boat.
Yeah, I try not to. I mean, it's one of the things that, I mean, there's those certain things that happened where you lose a fight and it's, 5 days before your event, fuck. And I'm like, when I need somebody, that's Jeff Oiby, help me.
Yep.
And
there's so many fighters out there right now, you can make that happen.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it's
knock on wood.
A good thing right now to where I'm like, I've got 15 fights locked in, and I could make probably another 15 fights right now if I needed to, because I've got so many people which I'm blessed, and thank you coaches, that they've given me fighters so I could match more if I needed to, but I'm plateaued right now,
right?
Which is a good thing to have right now. But we're still 3 weeks out. Anything can happen, and that's where I tell all these coaches, because I'm getting a lot of coaches calling me right now, going, "Hey, what about my guy?" Right. And I'm like going, dude, I'm full right now, but keep him training, because there could be a what if. Like if something falls out, you're in, right?
That's basically word for word what Crew Jones always said to me.
Yeah,
like,
him and I see eye to eye. I mean, when he was promoting and doing Absolute, I mean, we'd have, long talks in regards to all this. And he does it the way I do it. I do it the way he does it. I mean, and it works, and it's the right way to do it, at least I think. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways to do it, but for me, it's the right way for me, I should say.
And that's why we see eye to eye, because I'm like, I'm gonna, so I was always said, doing the right thing is the right thing to do. Do it right, do your best and stuff. And when I met him, that's why I always refer to him, like, he's like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. I'm like, that's true. You know what I mean? Like, may not be comfortable, but what's right may not always be comfortable. So that I really take my cues a lot from him, and like hearing everything, and I know how you guys have always worked together and stuff like that. Yeah. That always means a lot to me. Man, just having this community, like, because you guys, like I said, you guys will be across the ring from each other. Me and Julian will be across the ring from each other, and our fighters will be fighting, and we'll be smiling, walking, to greet each other, win, lose, or draw. And there's I'm a big football fan, but Ray Lewis, middle linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens back then, he had a speech where he's like, wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But like, I forget how the rest of it goes, but it's basically like, being your best is going to be what lives forever. Like, nobody's going to be able to criticize you doing your best.
Absolutely.
And putting out a quality product, show after show, even if not everyone can get on it that wants on it, but that's a good problem to have, because it shows you're putting a quality product out. It really is
a good problem to have, and I'm blessed, I'm thankful that people come out and want to be on this fight card. I'm just so thankful.
Yeah.
So
anything else you want to cover? Or it sounds like we're about a little over 2 hours in.
Brother, I'm just blessed that you're having me out here, and thank you for having this platform, what you do.
Thank you.
That gives coaches and fighters an outlet to speak on what they want to speak. And
thank you.
This is awesome. You made my Sunday, and this is awesome. Keep doing what you do, and thank you for sharing the Northwest Fight Challenge info to people on October 11th. Northwest Fight Challenge down at the Centralia Sports Hub. If you want tickets, you can get them online. You can call my gym at 413-9900. And you can buy tickets online via credit card, debit card, or all the fighters, like Isaac has tickets.
I was just going to say.
At your guys' gym, get your tickets through Isaac and his mom, or the gym with you guys. And or same thing with all the other fighters. Get your tickets from the fighters at your gyms. And or you can get them at the door too. October 11th is going to be a smashing night. There's 15 fights, high level striking and MMA. It's going to be an awesome night, and thank you, my brother, for having me out here. You're awesome.
Thank you, man. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story, man. That means a lot. Anybody else that wants to come on, I'm all ears. All you got. I'm not shy. I'm not going to push anybody out. Come on. I really love getting everybody on. Get your story out there. You know, tell people who you are. Like, it's not taboo anymore. I was always so shy to do this kind of stuff. I never wanted to be the person on the camera. I just want to be like, all right, let my fights speak for themselves and people can say thank you or something like that. And not everything works out that way. Me sitting down and chatting with you guys is working out. So I love that you're willing to come on, that other people are willing to come on. And I want it to grow from there. I don't make money off of it. So, I mean, maybe someday there'll be sponsors, like, you know, but for now, it's about building a community. So yeah. I love that, and trying to keep that compass going. So
absolutely, brother. You're so welcome. And yeah, I've been that behind the scenes promoter. I've had people at my own event before to where I go through the crowd and I'm up at the front and fights going on, and some dudes, and I'm like, hey, dude, you got to sit down. I was like, hey, fuck you, dude. And I'm like going, brother, you need to sit down. You need to tell me to go fuck myself. And then finally I'm like, security. Yeah. And then I'm like, bud, it's my show, you know, and I'm like, so, I mean, lots of people, they don't even know who I am. You know, I'm the behind the scenes dude. You know who matters that knows? Coaches, fighters, you know, that's, you know, I'm not doing this to chase glory, you know, right. I'm the behind the scenes guy that I give my spiel to the coaches and fighters at the rules meeting. And then I'm running around indiscreet, you know, at the fight card, doing my thing with the team and making sure all you guys get what you get, need what you need. And I prefer it that way. And this is the first time I've never once ever stepped into the ring or cage ever, grabbed the mic and said, hey, look at me, blah, blah. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's behind the scenes, and so is my wife. And so this is a first for me, that a platform in, you know, 24 years to get out there and speak about the Northwest Fight Challenge. This is a first for me, and I didn't know how I was gonna. I was uncomfortable last night. I didn't sleep well last night. Going, fuck, I'm uncomfortable. You know, really? In regards to, I was excited about it.
My show,
just like
I love it.
I don't know I haven't been that guy that steps up and grabs a mic. I've never done it. I step into the ring or cage with my fighter, right, and then step back out and go back in the back. You know what I mean? I've always been that guy. And so, yeah, this was a first for me, and I appreciate it. And thank you for having me, Zach.
Thank you. Absolutely. I just want to say, I always wanted to be that guy, the one in the back that was able to just kind of call shots in the back. It didn't work out that way. It's working out being in the front. So
well, you do a good job of being in the front, brother. You do a dynamite job, and you made this easy to where you make it easy. You're well spoken, and you say the right things at the right times, and you make it easy.
You don't know how much that means to me. Thank you, Brian.
So, you do.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
I can't wait for your show on October 11th. It's going to be a great night. Everybody show up. If you're not there, you better be dead or in jail. And if you're in jail, just break out and go back afterwards.
Exactly. And there is
don't do anything bad.
No shit. There is no live stream. It's buying tickets, general admission, and VIP. There's still some VIPs available. And come be a part of the show. It's going to be awesome.
If you've never had a VIP experience at a fight show, it is definitely worth a purchase. So, just so you guys know. Thank you again, Brian. Have a great day.
You too, brother.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you, brother.
Yes. Give me a hug.